Hello, my name is Joe Trier and welcome to the Frozen North. It has been 2 years since the sun failed to rise. 2 years of terror and isolation because Icewind Dale has become trapped in a perpetual winter with no escape. To the south, furious blizzards make the mountain passes through the spine of the world unpassable. To the west and north, the sea of moving ice, and to the east, the mighty Reghed Glacier. No one gets in, and no one gets out. Today, our camera zooms in to Bryn Shander, the largest of the settlements of Icewind Dale. Surrounded by a high wall that once defended the town from monsters and barbarians, it now struggles against the icy wind and cold. As we look across the stone dwellings, each half buried in snow, we see no sign of life. No sign of any of the 1,000 plus souls that call this outpost home. That is, until a bell tolls, low and sonorous. It is joined by others in a mournful funeral dirge, as one by one the doors open and figures clad in furs exit their homes and businesses. No one stays behind. No one ignores the call for the bells signal the weekly drawing, the weekly sacrifice to Oriel, the Frost Maiden. As the figures make their way towards the town square, they know that one of them will be chosen for death, in the hope of appeasing the bitter goddess who has ruled their lives for over 2 years. Our camera zooms in again on three figures. Welcome to the show, guys. We are going to start off with Owen. So, Owen, can you describe Zalfiz as he strolls through the town surrounded by the crowds?
I can, but first we're going to say it's turn Zencaster so we can record this.
That's probably a good idea. I will do that.
Sorry, guys. Technical issues. So,
There we go.
Zalfiz is a gnome artificer. He's been in the Icewind Dales for the better part of 2 years, having come here on the search for black ice, mysterious magical ice he's heard tale of, and saw some briefly in our first episode. He has a little mechanical penguin called Lady Penguin, or Penelope Guinevere, and he's rocking around in kind of just your standard sciencey winter clothes, that white science coat that's just fur-lined basically.
It's basically the coat that the rebels wore in Hoth, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what he is. Yeah. He's effectively cosplaying Luke.
With a little BB-8 penguin
rolling
along the side.
Yeah.
And next up, I guess, is Graham, or I should say Kuran, playing Graham. Welcome back to the show. Tell us a bit about your character and how he's reacting to strolling through the crowds.
Thanks, Joe. Well, he's probably very slyly pickpocketing the odd person here and there just to see what they've got. This is the Graham is a sort of short, well, not short. He's a stocky build. Man who likes to have these big jacket where he's constantly hiding things in different pockets and different areas. He's got short shoulder length hair, and I'm just sort of bumping into people here and there casually. That's a nice watch. Maybe put it back. Maybe hand it to someone else. Who knows? Just
on their way to death. Then you're just helping yourself to keep quiet. Awesome. And towering above you both is Niall's character. Welcome back to Say Niall. Tell us about Gann.
Hey there, I am playing Gann. Gann is he's a 6 foot something. No, he's a 7 or 8 foot Firbolg druid. Who, he's just big, scruffy, unkempt, kind, gentle giant. Doesn't like really being in Bryn Shander that much. Doesn't like being around civilization that much. He's used to living out in the kind of wilds in the forest with his clan, but events have happened that have brought him to this town.
We might touch upon some of those events today, but as you march through the town, the mood is very, very low and somber. No one's talking. Maybe kind of in front of you is a family, father and mother with 2 kids sort of walking along, because anyone and everyone has their name in this drawing. Whenever you pass by a road, you see signs of guards. Now, there's not that many guards in Bryn Shander. As I said, there's about 1,200 people, but those guards have spaced themselves out to make sure that no one gets away. And they will also do a house-to-house search while the drawing takes place. It is very, very strict and very, very serious. And in fact, hardly anyone, if anyone, would stay behind because it has been chosen as the only way of possibly saving yourselves from the Frost Maiden. I do say no one would stay behind because Zalfiz, as you're kind of glancing around, you look up and you look to a building. Now, this is a building that you look at every single day. This particular wall, this particular place in Bryn Shander, you check avidly and carefully. Usually, there is nothing for you to see. However, today, your eyes widen as marked upon the wall in red chalk is a crude image. For those of who do notice it, would probably think it's maybe a crude U in common. But you know there's a picture of a harp.
Okay. So, Zalfiz sees this symbol and he recognizes it as a harp, but doesn't want to kind of twig that or let on to anyone that he's looking at this image or perturbed by this image. And he turns to Gann and Graham. I'm just wrong voice. So we'll go back to my standard voice. Guys, I need to go. I've something left back in my workshop.
Something the matter?
Yeah. Look, you know my experiments, my vastly successful experiments that never go wrong. I think I've left something cooking back in the workshop, which could be really bad. Could make a lot of noise, cause a lot of it. Like it might blow up. Some people might say blow up. My workshop, and like the guards will all come looking and find all of the stuff we've been researching. I've notes there about you crashing from the sky. That might ask for questions about what we're doing. So
that's not good.
Well, I
need
wouldn't want the church
so
to burn down.
Well, yeah, the church is important too. Like, forget about my workshop, but the church is also. Like, I need a distraction so I can get away. Can you do something?
I suppose. So when I look around, everyone's just kind of headed towards this.
Yeah, very somber, heads down. The only people that are paying attention are the guards on either side. And because you've kind of paused, people are now sort of walking around you. And so the guards aren't like, they're not coming over, but you kind of are in their attention.
So I start, I'm kind of like, I'm looking at Gann. I'm like,
Graham, follow my lead.
Yes.
So Gann is gonna kind of, he's so big, so he's gonna kind of crouch down, so he's hunched and a bit more out of the way, and he's just kind of hiding, and he's gonna go, "Oh my God, a bear!" And he's gonna point and hope Graham points, and he's gonna use I believe it's a druid feature called Hidden Step, where basically he can turn invisible until
It's not a bad idea. I'm sorry.
He can turn invisible until the start of my next turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, where I pointed, I'm going to run in that direction using Hidden Step and go around the corner behind a building and use Wild Shape and turn into a bear and then run around the corner roaring.
Okay.
He's
All right.
a goddamn genius.
So as your voice echoes out, everyone turns in your direction and they pause for a moment. I think I'd like a deception roll. Let's have a deception roll to see how they react.
I'm going to point as well. Can I assist?
Yeah,
can I
get
absolutely.
advantage with him helping me?
Yeah,
I've
you
got
can have
God, a
advantage.
bear!
Because I've got -1. All right, so
If you'd prefer, you can use Intimidate as your voice echoes out across the whole
well, I got
the street.
You know what? I've also got a -1 to Intimidate. So
How are you 8 foot tall and you're like the cuddliest giant there is?
okay, I got a 14 and a 6, so I'll take the 14. Does that succeed?
14. Well, people are looking scared. Like the couple in front of you, their 2 kids start crying, and the husband kind of grabs onto one, and the wife wraps around protectively, and you disappear. And that in itself is slightly confusing. And I think that's causing issue until you appear as a bear in the direction you've pointed. So, Kuran, Graham, what do you do as this bear appears in a side street? Probably quite
I
near
jump
a guard.
between. I jump between the people and the guards and the bear, and I'm like, "Fear not, everyone. I am an expert animal handler. Simply stay calm, move back, everyone. Stay calm. I said stay calm. You, sir. No closer. I'm talking to the guard. I'm like, back off. Trust me. I have everything is under control. Right.
Okay, so as you kind of push by the guard, he falls in behind you and starts following, and his partner brings his halberd up and blocks the street so no one else can follow you. What are you doing as you disappear, as the bear disappears off?
I start making hand gestures going, oh, see the bear, it's working. It's working. Everyone remain calm. And everyone just watches
everybody
me
do as I do.
We start going
Niall,
into like a
Niall,
dance
what are you
sequence.
doing as a bear? How are you leading them off? Are you staying here to fight? What's the plan?
I'm gonna run off a bit. Actually, no. I'm gonna climb up the building next to me, up onto the roof of it, and then just keep on roaring and making a fuss and just like kicking snow off the roof and just being a nuisance.
Making a
for the town.
fuss.
Okay, so the guard next to you, Graham, has pulled out his crossbow and he's making a move to shoot at Gann the bear.
Ooh. So I knock his crossbow, and I'm like, no, you fool! This is only a cub. If the mother is called, we'll all die, all of us.
Okay, meanwhile, Zalfiz, this sounds like a pretty good distraction. Everyone's kind of looking in that direction. Even the guards that are blocking the street are kind of confused at why a giant bear cub is climbed up onto the roof and appears to be kind of like going, growl.
Not actually doing
And
anything.
it's stopping the kick snow. Like a giant.
Making a fuss.
So you do make your way through the side streets. Now, this is very, very unusual. You've not had this sign appear on the wall for quite a while. And you head down the side streets and then you use a few tricks that you know of, a few secret ways to eventually find your way to the lake, where in a ice-lodged ship, in a cabin, someone is waiting for you. Now, each of the Harper agents who are active within 10 towns will come here once a month to report. You do that anyway, and you have a specific time and a specific day when you will do so. But the red Harper sign means that there is an emergency. And to make sure that no one or the person knocking on the door or arriving at the door is actually the right person, you each have a secret call sign. So as you approach the door to the cabin, what is your Harper call sign?
Oh, definitely Emperor Penguin.
So again, you're facing the closed door. So this could be like a knock, it could be a sound, it could be something else.
Sorry. I thought you meant
What
like,
sound do
I
Emperor
thought you meant like
Penguins
with a
make?
radio. It's like, you know, rubber
Caw!
ducky.
The sound of a dying giraffe? No.
Oh man, I didn't know there was going to be a quiz. So he's going to go up to the door, kind of. I imagine it's like one of those eye slits that you see in the like shady gangster movies when they're looking out the door. Just knock lightly and go. I am the brains. They didn't even ask me for call signs. Came up with it myself. Probably I'm the only one who does this.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they probably chose it for you because I mean you are the brain.
I am the
well
brains.
known for it. So the door opens and you are faced with two figures. They're sitting in the darkness of this cabin. It's not a nice place. Obviously, this is waterlogged and very rarely visited. One of them you know well. This is your Harper agent. She's called Jasmine, or at least that's what she goes by. And she is dressed as usual as an absolutely filthy beggar. She uses this as her disguise to gather news around 10 towns. And she stood there next to someone you don't know. Orla, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on. Could you tell us a bit about your character? What are they called and what do they look like?
Yeah, I can. But actually, hold on 1 second.
Well, we'll introduce us for a sec. Oh my god, okay.
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
If you weren't
I
Irish,
was
I'd be like,
so
this is
worried the
offensive.
headphones weren't gonna fit over this wig. Oh my gosh. Oh,
We're meant to be-
God,
we're meant to be
I've been
sneaky.
sitting beside this wig for like an hour. All right.
You've outdone yourself. I think the others need to bring wigs next week.
I already
I'm
look like my
Yeah.
character. I'm not dressing up.
I'm already sitting.
Well, you'd have to paint yourself blue. That'd be a real undertaking.
Good call. Chat. A couple of subs there, and I'll paint himself blue.
I'm already subbing, man. Give me a second.
Yeah, well, Diesa sort of is small. She's only about like just hitting 5 foot. She's dressed in pretty standard, like not fancy, not pretty nondescript. Got a hood up, and you know, kind of a bit weird, kind of wearing got dwarven runes on her clothes. Got the big hair. Got like a little, we're very much like bagpipes. The whole thing's going on, and but like she kind of tosses the hood back, gives you a little smile, and you're like pretty sure she's a half elf, but you're like not,
That's
Okay,
fantastic.
The same I was a skater kid, but not really a skater when I was younger.
So Jasmine, your Harper lead agent, turns to you both and goes, "So, Diesa, you were just telling us about the report from 10 Towns. What have you discovered since our last meeting?"
Oh,
Do you have anything more to report?
Diesa?
Sorry. Well, the problem is that there's a bit of there was something heard about a white dragon, but people weren't overly sure.
That is worrying. The white dragon has been seen all over the Dale recently. It's almost like it's hunting for something. No, that's fantastic. Well, terrible news, and I'm glad you brought it to our attention. Zalfiz, obviously
Yes?
I don't need to ask too much about what you're doing. The tales of your exploits have made it all across the Dale, but obviously we've not checked in for, well, quite a while. Do you have anything else to report?
No, the reason I haven't checked in is I keep getting told where this black ice is. I get there and then it's gone, or it's some
Sort of
kid telling me.
sighs. More about this black ice. You do realize that it's a myth.
I mean, if it's a myth, then why did that whole building get flattened in Dugan's Hole? I mean, well, look, I'm a powerful, very, very smart gnome, like very smart, but no, there's no fuel bomb magic that could have caused that.
Okay. Well, I trust you. So you've
Like,
said
it
you've
feels
heard
like you trust me.
reports of black ice across the Dale, or is this a rumor you've heard?
What's the difference between a report and a rumor? People have reported to me that there is black ice. Yes.
Okay. I'll take that on board, and it's good to know. We'll continue adding it to our investigations, and you continue looking into it. But I have called you both here for a reason, and it's a very worrying one. We have an agent who we have lost contact with. He had managed to get hold of a book, a strange, ancient tome, by his reckoning over 2,000 years, and he believed that within it held the answer to the very problem we are all facing. He believed within its pages was a way to defeat the Rime of the Frost Maiden. And, well, I mean, obviously this would be incredible. He hired an artificer, a gnome named Cooper from East Haven. I don't suppose you know them, Zalfiz?
Can't say that I do. He must be very good at what he does.
Well, maybe not. Either way, they headed off into the north, past Lonely Wood, to the Black Cabin, somewhere that has a dark and dismal reputation, but obviously somewhere that no one would bother him. And, well, we haven't heard from him in over, almost a 10-day now. I was hoping maybe the two of you and your companions, Zalfiz, if you're willing, if they're willing, would head north, find this Black Cabin, and find news of Macredius. If he's still alive and he's working on this invention, this creation that could stop the Rime, then, well, you need to help him, bring him the supplies he needs. And if he is no longer living, if there has been a problem, then I need you to return this book.
Okay, so just so I'm clear,
guy says he's a magical ancient book that solves all of the problems of, the northern half of this plane. Disappears for a while, and if I find him,
right.
I should help him. Like, we're not worried that he's like trying to lock us all in here or become like some sort of ice god king thing. Like,
she smiles and says, "Yes, you're right to be suspicious, Zalfiz. But no,
Mercurius sounds pretty evil. It's a pretty evil sounding name.
No, he's a sage and a cleric of Lethlanda. He is one of the most
a religious nut. I got it.
Yes, he's one of the most irritating people I've ever met. But beyond that, he is also a devout, goodly person with some, incredible research. Even before he found this book, he was, if I've met anyone who could help us out of the Rime, then this is the person. You'll find the supplies have already delivered to your home, Xalfiz. They're in the church. And if you could leave as soon as possible, because he was meant to check in 3 days ago, and he hasn't done.
Okay, well, I'll take on this very dangerous mission. It just seems like a bit drastic to, use the emergency red harp symbol for, hey, I need you to go to the shops, bring these, groceries to some previous fella.
Of course, that's fair. But the red harp, as you know, is exactly for this. There is an emergency, come immediately. If you see the black harp, then you'll know what's what.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm real happy to be part of that, Harpers. You've been real good to me. You've really helped with my investigation and search. So not knocking it, just saying. Okay. I mean, it's not black ice, but I'll help.
Okay. So Diesa, are you willing to join Zalfiz? Obviously, you've never worked with him before.
Oh yeah, but he seems really nice, so I'm sure it'll be fine. I just have one question. It's only that it came up, and I actually don't know what happens when I see a black harp. I think I forgot. What is what?
I am also wondering what is what. That's a very grammatically, it's a questionable sentence to begin with.
So as the camera fades, she looks at us.
It's a great way to get out of the scene.
She takes a deep breath.
So meanwhile, we have left on a roof as a dancing bear with Graham below distracting the guards. So I don't want to spend a great deal of time on this.
He's already fucked around with two idiots already.
Basically, if Gann sees that Zalfiz is gone, what he's going to do is he's going to run around to the other side of the roof where he's kind of out of sight, and he's going to shapeshift into a cat and just jump down and run back to the church.
Okay, so you're running back to the church.
Gone.
So are you heading back to church, or are you heading to the town square with the rest of the crowds?
Actually, no. Yeah, he'll go to another alleyway and change back to Gann, and then just walk back into the crowd of people and find Graham and be like, I'm here. I think that worked. I don't see that Zalfiz anywhere.
No, it definitely worked.
Push past the guards, sorry, this is my friend.
Yeah.
Sorry. Graham, what are you doing? You don't know anything about bears.
What do you mean? I am the expert on bears in this region.
Okay, whatever you say, buddy. And pat his shoulder, and I'll walk him back towards the crowd.
So the crowd has moved on at this point, and the two very confused guards are have literally no idea what's just happened. They're still looking for the bear. Probably not angry, more confused by the whole situation. But all the guards behind you that have been marking the alleys have basically moved on, and you've sort of herded into this main square where the speaker has already started his spiel. Now, you have heard this quite a few times, and obviously neither of you are members of the town as such. You're almost just passing through, so I don't know how you'd feel about this. But he's basically saying something like, "Oh, well, it's really good, everyone, that you've gathered here in such a sort of somber event and all, and, well, it's not the best, really, but here we have everyone's name in this," and he has this huge jar ahead, "and I will be picking out one of you to make the ultimate sacrifice for the whole town. Obviously, I know some of you have put your name in more than once, and we opened this up 2 weeks ago, so if you do want to, put in your name more than once and have a greater sort of risk, you will get a reward from us. Obviously, There's food and there's various other rewards for doing so, which we very much appreciate. And obviously, that's not good, but obviously, and he sort of mumbles on through this really, really long speech. And the mood of the crowd is very, very negative and increasingly angry. And you can see that even the guards themselves, clutching their weapons, are looking furious because they themselves have their names in this pot. Graham, you're probably the newest to this. This is maybe probably the second time you've seen this. How do you feel about this sacrifice and about the way the speaker's approaching this?
I'm not feeling good. I think it's I'm not sure whether it's necessary or not. This is I don't know what it's for exactly. Is it the sacrifice to appease something? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you don't know. So he continues kind of rambling on. So, okay, everybody, I'm going to reach in and pull out a name. Obviously, if this is you will be sacrificed for the greater good. Our angry overlord has chosen this to be the way to appease her. And he reaches in and he pulls out a blue, looks like a marble, and he holds it up. And he says a name, and as he says the name, from the back of the crowd, there is like an agonized scream as a man kind of puts his hand up, and the crowd step away from him, and there's this sort of increasing circle, and he tries to get away. He's like, no, please, no! And he tries to dart between the guards, who all grab hold of him, and he's lifted up. While this is happening, what are you doing, Gann?
Gann is not like he's lived in Dale for all of his life, but he's never really seen this kind of stuff going on. And like even this is the first time he's been in town between kind of rests and stuff like that, where he's been involved in this. He's shocked. He doesn't know what's going on. He is disgusted, and he is more reinforced by the fact that he does not like civilization as a whole. He's standing. He's watching very uncomfortably, and he wants to do something, but he also feels like the numbers are way too far against him to actually do anything.
So the crowd probably have a very similar attitude, and the man is stripped of clothes, basically down to his underclothes in this freezing cold. I think it's like minus 45, not including wind chill, in Icewind Dale right now. And he is carried to the edge of the town, and there's kind of a procession, almost like a funeral procession, and there is this sort of low hum as people are sort of acknowledging his sacrifice, and the doors are open, and he is literally just tossed out into the blizzard, and the doors are closed behind, and people go their separate ways. With no more said.
I really I don't like this.
This is just disgusting, to be honest. Well, yeah. Why do people put up with it? What difference does it make? Does it make a difference?
I don't even know what it's for. So, if I maybe grab a guard for a second, or if I while they're dispersing, I'm like, "Excuse me, God, what's happening to that man?"
The guy turns to you, and he looks really genuine, upset. Like for a huge burly man, he actually has tears going down his eyes, and he kind of wipes away a tear and goes, "What do you mean? What's happened to him?
What will they do to him?"
It's not what we'll do to him. He's saving us. He's been taken by the Frost Maiden. It's the only way to appease her. Without the sacrifice of him and everybody else, we'd all be dead. We may die anyway, but their sacrifice has given us these precious weeks.
But the sacrifice itself, how are they sacrificed?
Well, you've just seen they're thrown out into the wilderness. He'll wander for a time, I'm sure, but we've never found the bodies. In what he was wearing, he should be dead in minutes. We do this every week. We've never once found the bodies. Not once.
Would Gann, having lived in kind of forests and stuff like that, not in civilization, would they have ever found dead bodies, just dead from being frozen?
No, none that would fit this MO. No.
Okay.
Anyway, I need to go tell his wife. I'm sorry, as she knows, of course. I need to go see if she's okay. Obviously, the family will be provided for as part of the gift of the sacrifice.
Has anyone ever followed or tracked the person to see what happens?
Don't be insane. You can't anger the Frost Maiden more than we've already done.
Then why would it be insane if she can't get any more angry?
He kind of looks at you almost sort of pityingly and says, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Anyway,
Just give like a little bit of an elbow nudge to Gann. I'm like, what's wrong?
Okay.
And let's have the camera fade to where you're all in the Church of Lathlander, where I guess let's kind of move it on a little bit. So Zalfiz and Diesa. Is it Diesa? Am I pronouncing it right, Orla? Was it Diesa? Diesa have told you about your mission to head to the Black Cabin. And I guess, do you want to gather any supplies before you leave, assuming you are going to leave?
So Zalfiz is going to have his standard crossbow, quivers, his crossbow, his quiver, his standard kind of artificer stuff. So there's nothing particularly new for me to bring, I don't think. And whatever the shopping list is for your men, previous story was saying.
Yeah, and the supplies that we know we're supposed to bring, but Diesa's used to the cold and traveling between the towns here, so she doesn't, everything she needs she has on her.
Excellent. Okay. Anyone else want to say, Graham or Gann, do you want to bring anything extra, or just what you've already got on your equipment list?
Just, I think. Oh, actually, one of the things I did over the last week, while there was some downtime or whatever, or however long we had, Gann did go out into the forest and gather some materials for crafting, and using his herbalism kit, he made some small potions.
Excellent. Okay.
Smaller potions of healing.
So one of the things that I really like about the way we're playing, and also the way that this book is structured, is we can very much use the downtime activities. So this has been a 10 days since our last adventure, so you've all had the opportunity to do that, and we've discussed that out of the show. So it's a really cool mechanic, and I definitely recommend getting Xalfiz Guide to Everything if you haven't already.
It's a great book. So he's made 3 potions from that.
So without additional funds, I think probably even stretching to a dog sled is beyond your current means. So it will be a long walk, first to Tourmaline, probably a night in Tourmaline, then a walk to Lonely Wood. Obviously, Tourmaline is where we had our second adventure, where you met the kobolds in the mine. Lonely Wood is not somewhere you've been before. When you arrive at Lonely Wood, you are going to have a choice. The Black Cabin is the other side of the wood. So you can either take a direct route straight through Lonely Wood, which will be a harder trek, and there are rumours of a few creatures within the wood, particularly a white stag has been murdering woodcutters. Or you can go around the Lonely Wood, which would be obviously a much further journey, but potentially safer and also an easier travel. How would you like to proceed?
I would like to say that we could go through, because Gann is at one with nature, but we know that those rolls don't always go my way.
Yeah.
I have to say that going through the woods sounds like the better story.
Yeah, look, guys. I mean, we're fine. It's a stag. We can surely handle it with your prowess, physical prowess, and my brains. I mean, it's the Lonely Woods. There's probably nothing there, right? It's a nice name for a woods. Never happens bad in the Lonely Woods.
I'm pretty sure that's the exact opposite of what they usually say about the Lonely Woods.
I'm not an outdoors guy. What can I say? I'm more a science and lab kind of
guy. Bad things happen in the Lonely Woods. I think that's the figure of speech. Yeah.
It'll be okay. I can handle the wilderness in there, and a stag. I think I could soothe it or keep it from trying to murder us. So if it cuts some time off our travel, I don't think we want to be out in this weather much more.
I just got the image of a raving bachelor party for those from America, because that's what we call stag parties over here.
I can save you from the stag. Yeah.
No one can save us from the stag.
I guess we're going through the woods. Question mark.
Okay, so you do live the last bastion of civilization and head into the darkness of the forest. Immediately, it's a very, very different feeling. The wind stops and there is almost silence. The ground below is earthen but frozen solid into icy permafrost. And every step, every crackle, every breath seems to echo around you. And as you march your way throughout the day, you feel the trees getting closer and closer, and you do have this horrible impression that you are being watched. Around sort of mid-afternoon, you do hear a howl from the east that matches no animal, no beast any of you have ever heard of. And you do worry that whatever's watching you is very, very attentive to your every move. To see how fast you make it through the wood, particularly to see if you can arrive at the edge before nightfall, I'd like a survival roll. So who has the highest survival?
I'd like to believe it's me, but it's probably
It's surely
not.
Niall, but he's got the worst look. So can we take a vote?
I have a +2.
I guess who's taking the lead is what I'm
A
really
plus
asking.
0.
I think Niall probably has
survival.
+3, does he?
I got +3, yeah.
Go
Okay.
for it, Niall.
Hey guys, we get to
Welcome
get
to the
lost
nat
and
one.
we get to get lost and not even like get to our final
Could I-
destination.
Could I assist? Because I'm also a local. Could I be like helping?
Are you local to the northern part of Icewind Dales, or at least the
Yeah,
northern
'cause I'm-
Thames?
Functionally a dwarf. So yeah.
Sure. I mean, actually, the mountain is to your east, where many of the dwarven mines are. This is probably not that unfamiliar to you. So yeah, okay, I'll let you roll with advantage.
Oh
Niall?
yes. Okay, so I got a 14 and 10.
10,
You're the
okay.
worst, a +3.
+3, and I can only manage a 14. Honestly, I thought that 7 was going to roll over onto the 1, so I'm okay with it.
It's a big day.
If 14 was a higher roll, it was a 11 +3.
Okay, so 14 is not good enough.
Damn it.
So you reach the northern part of the wood, and you don't believe that you're lost, but you've also not been able to move quickly, or at least as quick as you'd like. And you have the choice now. You can push on through the darkness and hope to get to the Black Cabin, sometime around midnight, at least if it is where it says it is. Or you can make camp. What would you like to do?
I don't know about you guys, but I don't feel particularly good about being in here overnight. I've not felt comfortable since we've been in here. I think we should
But
push
Gann,
through.
couldn't you simply magic one of those bonfires? Wonderful.
I could do that. We could start a fire.
Always
That's
good.
fine. But
Yeah.
that also attracts
In the
attention
woods.
of-
Exactly.
I think with the permafrost that's across the land, we don't need to worry about setting it on fire. But I think anything like
Man of
that.
science.
I think
I don't know, Gon. It's been that kind of 2 years. You just can't tell anymore.
well, if you guys want to camp here, let's go for it. I don't feel comfortable.
I mean, we can keep moving. He's got a lovely little cabin and lodge. My friend told me about.
I'm not sure that is what she said. Exactly.
I took the cliff notes. Bring this stuff, this guy in this house. So,
Where he might have been horribly murdered.
or he might be saving the world. I mean, it's a
I
real
mean,
coin
yeah,
toss.
sure, he might be saving the world, but like he could also be horribly murdered. So.
But there's still a house. There's nothing about the house being locked, so we can still sleep in the house.
Is there
Right.
any like smaller animals like birds or rabbits or anything around that we can see?
Curiously silent. Now, I'm not saying there isn't any, or there aren't any, but even for a frozen forest, it does seem unusually devoid of any kind of life. But if you'd like to give me a survival roll, you can see if you've spotted any.
All right, I'll do that. I got a plan, guys. Don't worry. I got a 15, 12 plus
15
3.
is good enough. Yeah, you managed to find a brace of white hares.
So, excuse me. Sorry, my throat is. I've got I'm going to use speech of beast and leaf, and I'm going to kind of try to communicate with the rabbits to kind of encourage them to show us to the nearest exit out of the forest from where we are, like the nearest edge of the forest.
Those exit signs above a tree.
Yeah.
So the rabbit looks up and goes,
I'm not sure. What are you looking for? I've got a nice burrow. If you want to follow me, I've got a little burrow down here. If you want to see, it's probably a bit big, a bit small for someone like you. But if you curl up in the leaves nearby, I'm sure you can find something a bit warmer than here. You've chosen quite a windy spot, if I do say so myself.
Eoghan's just like,
no, we're gonna eat you.
brings his club down. I've got dinner. Gann just shakes his head and turns away. He was hoping to find a bird because they can get up above the trees at least.
All right, goodbye then. It's nice to meet you both.
All right, goodbye. Comes back. No luck.
Well,
So you settle in for the night, and for those of you that are not used to living outside of civilization, even the poor civilization that 10 Towns offers, it is going to be a miserable one. It will not count as a long rest, but I don't believe anyone has used any powers. Obviously, it's been a long travel already since Bryn Shander. I'd like to know what your watch timings are. Who's gonna go first? Who's gonna go last?
I can go first. That's no problem. Or in character, I guess. I'll take the first watch overnight.
I'll take second.
Graham, thank you.
Not to be difficult, but can you see in the dark?
You make a good point. I cannot.
It's
But-
only that I think all the rest of us can, and maybe just yourself maybe can't see in the dark.
I have
Maybe the big guy comes with the 3 foot, 3.5 foot guy who can see. I mean, I can call out where to swing a club. Pretty good.
No. I think Gann can see in the dark. It was Graham. I wasn't sure whether you
Yeah,
could
Graham's
see
human.
in the dark.
Gone.
Yeah, no, I can't see it. No, but
Can't?
Yeah,
You
there's
Sure,
only
I
don't
can
have
listen.
night vision?
No.
no.
I thought they had dark vision.
How about
I don't
we
know.
do pairings? We do me and the brains, and then
Yay!
Graham
I'm the
and Diesa.
brains.
You guys could do a watch afterwards.
absolutely.
Okay. Then get some sleep, and we'll keep an eye out.
Okay, are you gonna do it in shifts, or are you doing half the night each?
Half the night each, I think.
Okay, so who's going first? It sounds like Gann and Zalfiz are going first, and then Graham and Diesa are going second. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, it is a long and miserable night, but in the early hours, as Diesa and Graham are sharing stories, particularly there's been some quite serious events over the past few 10 days. You look up from the crackling fire and see something in the dark. But first it appears to be nothing. And you kind of look up, what was that? Did I see anything or not? Then you glance to the side and you see it again. And it's a ghostly silhouette, something seeming to be made only of mist. It seems to be a gnome crying out in pain. And as you look at him, or is it him, he disappears in the darkness, moving very, very quickly. To the point that if you wait behind and wake the others, he will be gone.
I can't even see him, right? Because I'm human.
Well,
No,
you're
you
asleep.
absolutely can. He's got an eldritch glow.
Can
Oh,
I just
okay.
ask, because Orla has forgotten this, but not necessarily
Yeah,
Zed.
yeah, yeah.
The person we're going to in the cabin, is he meant to be a gnome as well?
He was human.
Oh, he was human, the person in the cabin.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
but
he
the
did.
artificer was
The
not.
artificer. He did have a gnomish artificer. Yeah.
He had a gnomish artificer, and somebody had mentioned gnomes.
Yeah.
So this was seen by on their watch. You said, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
It's going right now. Disappearing.
Yeah, Diesa's like, don't. I don't think we should. No, that's to be left.
Okay,
No.
fair enough.
So the rest of the night passes uneventfully, and as I said, you don't benefit from any long rests, and you all awake feeling tired, achy, and cold to the bone. But you head off in the cold morning light, although obviously you don't really get light in the 10 towns right now, so the cold morning gloom, and start hiking your way through the forest. It's not long, maybe only a matter of 2 or 3 hours before you emerge into the frozen tundra beyond and you gaze across the empty wilderness. But you know where you're going, and you carry on hiking through until eventually you see the rise where the black cabin is rumored to stay. I do have a description. So I haven't used many of them actually, but there are some awesome descriptions in this book, and I think this is one I'm going to use. So, perched on the edge of a snowy ridge above a gorge is a black lodge on wooden stilts. Whatever path may have led to this ramshackle retreat lies buried under snow. Icy steps climb to a snow-covered walkway that clings to the south side of the structure. The building's slumped posture and sagging snow-covered roof, coupled with the broken windows and loose flapping shutters, suggest utter abandonment. Large snowdrifts huddle around the rotting stilts and engulf a nearby woodshed and outhouse. Only the wind visits the sinister place.
Like I told you guys, a house that we could have camped in. So, how was your watch? Did you see anything? We just saw like nothing. A rabbit, maybe.
Well, we did see
Ghosts.
a ghost. Yeah,
Ghosts.
a ghost.
So we trekked for the better part of the day, and ghosts. We were bored of it. We played I Spy, and you didn't mention ghosts.
It was
Oh.
a.
And
Sorry,
you know what else?
I
I forgot?
Spy
We've
or
actually got
I
some
Spy?
whiskey. Anybody want whiskey? I've got that too. I actually totally forgot.
We saw the ghost of a gnome.
Oh
Got
yes.
it.
A gnome. What did he?
Yes.
Other than a gnome, like what did he look like? Did he?
So I put my hands up in front of my face and I'm like, put fingers together. I'm looking. Looked quite a bit like you, Zalfiz.
Well, I think
That is offensive, sir.
he looked. I mean, it was hard to say because he just looked dead. Like he was like a ghost. He was like mist. So he didn't really look
Like
like
Zalfiz.
anybody. He looked like a ghost.
Oh look, it's true. My complexion is pale because I don't go out much. But my friend, I said we're bringing this to a human called Macrevius. He has a gnome artificer friend.
I'm not sure he
Like-
does anymore, Zalfiz.
Might have been important to like. Was it all the way back at the last camp you saw this?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Good hustle. Maybe next time we call a team meeting if we see anything interesting.
Yeah.
I
We don't sound that
didn't
committed to
want
my
to
plan.
tell you because I didn't want you to go looking for the ghost.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, I wasn't going to go ghost hunting. This isn't some sort of silly reality TV show. It don't exist. I guess.
Kind of
This
silly
isn't some.
thing called ghost cops.
Yeah. Look, let's just get in, drop off this bag of crap to Macrevius, and then go back looking for black ice.
So as you approach the cabin, you realize that the stilts were probably not, well, the cabin itself probably wasn't actually that far from the ground originally. The stilts are 20 foot, if not higher. The cabin's on stilts, 20 foot or higher above the ground, but all the snow underneath it looks like it's been forced away, and the cabin is basically on stilts. It looks really strange. You can see underneath it. There's a series of steps that go up, and there's this kind of walkway that goes around the western part of the cabin itself.
What a delightful summer home this seems to be. I assume we're gonna just like Zalfiz just wants to get this what he views as a bullshit task done. So like gonna pull up to the door or a window and try and just look in, or like as I'm approaching, maybe just shout hello.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you'll have to climb up the steps to get onto the walkway. To the north of the cabin is an enormous gorge, and the cabin itself is kind of overhanging the gorge. But the steps lead up. I mean, they're icy and slippery, but you can get onto this walkway which walks around the outside of the cabin. What I'm trying to say, I'm probably describing incredibly badly, is the cabin is on stilts and raised above the
You
ground.
said
so
stills like 9 times. We got that.
Yeah.
How high is it raised above?
So over 20 feet.
Oh, okay. So it's okay.
Okay, maybe that bit can come across.
It's a treehouse.
Basically. So like knock. I don't know.
I mean, I think maybe I don't know. I like take out my rapier and I'm gonna like poke the stairs ahead of me to see do they collapse? Are they sturdy?
So they look very old, and yeah, they don't look particularly sturdy. You think they'll probably hold your weight, but you wouldn't bet 1,000 gold pieces on it.
What about my weight? All
You
right.
can turn into a cat.
Gann is not going to walk up the center of the stairs. He's going to walk up like around this, like on the edge of it, because it's closer to where it's actually like put in, like nailed in and stuff.
Sure.
Gone study engineering in high school.
You know what? Actually, no. Gann's not smart enough to do that. Gann just goes up the center. You're right, Owen. You're right.
I wasn't. That's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to make a good joke.
But you're
That's
right.
all it was.
He wouldn't have the intelligence to think of like something like that. So Gann is going to just go up the stairs.
Okay, so I think this is probably a good time, Aram. Do you want to show the map so we've got a good idea of what we're working with? As you're working your way up the stairs, you can kind of see you're approaching a window, and the window has been half blown open. It looks the glass has been smashed, and there's only a few panes still in. And as you're walking up the stairs, Gann, because you're the tallest, you can actually peek in. And in the darkness, what you're seeing is a workshop. There's one door to the north, which leads out onto the platform by the looks of things. And the workshop, although there's snow dusting across the tables, looks very, very serviceable. In fact, it's not just like a tinkerer's workshop. There's also like a smithy and a forge there as well. And that's the room you can see kind of in the southwest of the map.
Okay.
Gann, do you want to maybe just give me an old boost and I'll go in the window?
Yeah, sure, we can do that. And Gann kind of like foots her up, basically. Just
Little whoosh.
And what window is it that we're seeing, Joe? Sorry, the southwest.
It's the one in the sort of southwest.
Okay.
So as you carry on, as you push your way in, Diesa,
I'm just gonna perch in the window. I'm not jumping onto the ground.
Okay.
I'm standing with my feet on the window ledge like this.
Okay, so from where you're stood, that's what there seems to be. It's a very serviceable, if snow-covered workshop. It looks
the
like a
roof is
family
gone.
of squirrels has taken up residence in a bookcase.
Gann wants to talk to them. No.
Do you like squirrels?
So the roof is gone from this room then, is it?
No, the roof is actually still there.
But it's snow covered.
Yeah, it's all blown in through the smashed windows.
Oh, okay.
I poke the ground immediately below me with my rapier.
It seems to be about as solid as the rest of it so far.
If it's taken my weight, it can take yours.
Okay.
I mean,
What do you think? Should I head in and try and
maybe just shout for McCreevius?
I think
Macrevius?
Yeah.
Is there some lad called Macrevius in here?
So
Put a
you're
kettle
Like
on.
it doesn't look like there's anybody
No,
in here as Zalfiz.
nobody
Like
in.
there's squirrels, there's snow and stuff.
Well, I mean, this is the mission. We've got the supplies here. We could go find this book that might save the world. That might be pretty interesting, just for science reasons.
Oh God, maybe you could ask the squirrels.
Sure, I can.
the squirrels have scuttled off. I'm not doing any more animal.
Also, just because I don't want like people to get annoyed. Speech of Beast and Leaf, they can't talk back to me. I can communicate with them like something that I want them to do, but they can't talk back to me. I can't. That would be beast speech, and I don't have that.
You're such an honest player. I would just like cheese that the whole
So
way.
it's very strange. The rabbits talk back to you. They must.
I
have
know.
been
Gann is like.
awakened. I mean, there has been rumors of a whole load of awakened animals across the Dales.
Awakened
as if-
rabbits.
as if so druids have a power, they can awaken animals, and it's usually saved only for their own companion. But there has been rumors across the Dale of numerous awakened creatures turning up without a druid companion, and it's very, very strange. So I think you have just found evidence of 2 awakened rabbits in the middle of an empty forest.
Hello.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, very strange.
All right.
Moving things along.
We roll away with that one, lads.
I didn't want to say it at the time because you already got into the rabbit voice. Anyway, back into the adventure.
At this point, I think so. We've called the previous people are farting around. I think Zalfiz might be impatient enough to just try and knock on the door. He's like,
okay, so the only door. So currently you're on the kind of southwest of it, and the walkway continues round the outside of the house, and the next door is right at the northern side of the western wall. So you've got probably like a
that thing
100 feet to traverse.
So is that a window then in the middle of the kind of big room on the west?
Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Nice map readjustment there.
So you've sort of made your way up the first.
Let's. What's the plan here, guys? What's the plan?
You're the one who brought us here. Surely you should be the one with the plan.
I do have many plans.
You are the brains, after all.
You head in the door, and I'll stay here in the window ledge. Jesus, the most inconsistent accent I've ever done in my entire life. I'll stay here on the window ledge, and just so that nothing sneaks up on you while you're at the door, I'll just stay here, and you go there. All right?
Okay. I mean, I didn't know there was a risk of something sneaking up on me, but okay. I'm not worried.
Okay.
Always see ghosts.
Is there not always a chance of something sneaking up on you?
I'm very perceptive. Actually, I'm not very perceptive, but I believe I'm very perceptive.
Okay, so you kind of make your way round the outside of the house, traversing over this kind of certainly rotten but seemingly stable walkway, and you reach the edge of the walkway just before the door, and there is a gap of around 7 feet where the boards have fallen down, and that you're going to have to find a way of getting across this gap to get.
I can jump it.
There are a number of windows. If you want to
say, if there's a window just to my right, like Gann's just going to put his elbow through it and try to climb through that.
So as these dum-dums are jumping over a hole and elbowing windows, I'm going to take out my extendable little arrow thing. It's about 10 feet, you said, is it, Joe? Or more?
About 7 feet, yeah.
I mean, as a level 3 rogue, I did get second story work, so I can jump with an additional 3 feet of length.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, I mean, it sounds like Zalfiz is... so it's the sort of northern part of the map. Zalfiz is sort of poking the wood beyond with the pole to see if it collapses. And it doesn't. So you extend your pole, it doesn't collapse. Graham, are you going to go for this jump?
Yeah. But I'm going to have a bit of rope on me, and I'm going to tie it on the one end, and then I'm going to jump over.
Can I still see them from the window ledge I'm perched on? Can I still see them?
Yeah, I think so.
Around the corner?
Yeah, you can see all this.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
I'm
Graham,
just getting ready with Featherfall.
Athletics roll.
Oof, athletics. Why did I get myself into this? Fear not, I've got it. So athletics is +1, so that's 15.
15 is good enough. You leap across the chasm and you land on the other side, and it does shake for a moment, and you do think that although it's holding your weight, it won't hold much longer. And you kind of reach up and grab onto the door, and it just kind of opens. It's not locked.
Ooh.
And you kind of fall in, and as you kind of fall into the door, the whole walkway collapses underneath you. You are in the room. I guess it sounds like all of you are by the windows. If you want to climb in through the window, that's fine. But you, Graham, have managed to dodge a very, very deadly or potentially deadly trap.
Oh. And I recognize this specifically as a trap. It's not.
No, I think this is probably just a nature trap. It's a trap from circumstance rather than intention.
How are you metaing as the DM? How are you managing to meta as a DM?
Okay, so I mean, again, I'm very aware that we've only got an hour left. So you make his way, and Aram, would you mind sort of moving the map to the northern room, the large room?
Can I... Lady Penguin comes with me, or can I give you the reason how she gets with me?
No, please do, yeah.
So
God.
Zalfiz puts his bag on the
Shenanigans.
ground, does one of his artificial infusions to make it a bag of holding, and kind of lifts up the lid, and she just drives into it. And then
Nice.
I'm going to do the opposite when I come in through the window or wherever I come in through. Let her out.
So, this room contains lingering smells of burnt wood and flesh. You also catch the faint odour of wine. Snow has fallen through the holes in the roof and then pushed into the corners by stiff winds blowing through broken windows. The walls and furniture are scorched black, including a table with the charred remains of a book on it. Next to the table, on the floor, amid several broken wine bottles, is a mostly incinerated skeleton and a round, frost-covered object about 6 inches in diameter.
Is this the room that I'm standing in on the window ledge for?
I believe you're in the room to the southwest.
Oh, okay.
unless you
Because I
want
was
to
the
come into
first
this room.
window.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the big room in the north now.
And Gann, you cast detect magic.
So there is a sort of corridor heading off to the south, and there's 2 doors off this room in the eastern walls. So cast detect magic. The small object, which looks like a kind of, I guess it's almost like a rock of complete blackness, and it has 2 rings around it that are attached almost like a gyroscope, so they can move independently, each with runes carved into it. That radiates incredible transmutation magic, stronger than you've ever seen.
That's probably not something we want to. Maybe you, Xalfiz, but I don't think anyone else should touch that. It's got.
What are we talking about?
And I pointed the object.
Everybody still alive?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I climb in the window.
Yeah. Oh, you climbed the window that you're at.
Yeah, because I'm like way back.
What did you say that the object was, Joe? Sorry, I didn't hear.
So there's a few things in the room. On the table is a burnt, charred book. There's a skeleton, and next to a charred skeleton. Next to the skeleton is this object, which looks like a rock held within a gyroscope.
Okay.
2 rings.
So, just by looking at that object, that he said is like, this is like trouble. Can I just give a visual inspection of it and see if I know anything on it, like from my kind of research into black ice and magical items, kind of artificery items in the area?
So are you just looking at it?
Yes, 100%.
You can give me a history roll.
A history. I have an advantage due to my gnomish feature.
This would be a different thing. This would just be a straight history roll from only looking at it.
Against the magic item? Not against the magic item.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I think it'd probably work for that. Okay.
Then I have advantage.
Okay.
So.
We're so adamant to get that advantage in that history roll.
He gives that about me, but I don't know racial features. Like, give me this. I've read my character sheet for a change. Why isn't that rolling for me? So I have +5 to each of these rolls. I got a 17 and a 12, so 17.
Okay, so it's not actually good enough. However, you do recognize the runes as being incredibly ancient, far beyond the kind of known history. Like, this probably takes you back 2,000 years or more. You've never come across anything like this, although you might have seen while investigating runes in the library, but you didn't know what they were, and so 17 isn't high enough, basically.
Yeah, look, this is definitely something of interest. But I don't know what it is. I've never heard about it or seen it. It looks cool.
Is this your friend? And I'm pointing at the charred corpse on the ground.
Have I caught up with them now?
Sure, yeah.
I want to have a look at the corpse.
Yeah, I don't know, basically.
It appears to be human, but there's very little left of it. It's basically just a blackened skeleton.
Okay, great. That's helpful.
So this
doesn't.
Okay, fine.
Was there any of the magical sources in the room?
Not in the room, no.
Okay.
This doesn't look good, Zalfiz.
It doesn't look great, and this might be the book, and I'm gonna like pick up the charred book delicately as I can. Just like, this may be the book they were looking for. I have a history of not picking these books up.
So it has the same runes on it as the rings, the disc, but it's almost completely destroyed.
There are notes anywhere else in the room that you can see on a desk or a table or anything?
No.
It's weird that this is all like very burnt, but this whole, I guess it's pretty waterlogged cabin, but like there's no scorch marks on the table or the floor or anything other than.
No,
Can
I mean,
I-
the whole cabin is pretty scorched, to be fair.
Can I look at
okay.
the wine bottles around the corpse? Do I think someone looked like they used alcohol to set the body on fire?
No, you don't think so. I mean, again, wine's not massively flammable, so I mean, and it is wine bottles, yeah.
Weird.
I'm like, Graham's really quite tired and he's looking for somewhere to lie down. I thought this cabin was supposed to be a bit more like, I start opening a door, like if looking at the door on the top right of the map here.
Okay, so the door to the top right is it actually, you do open it and the scent of sweet wine fills the room, and there's nothing else in there other than 4 barrels, and you recognize them. Actually, this is quite an unusual and rare concoction. This is sweet berry summer wine.
Would anyone like some sweet berry summer wine?
Gone. Yes.
I do. But should we check maybe that it's not poisoned?
While you're saying this, I'm literally in the middle of drinking. I spit it out. You're saying this could be poison, and then I realized that there's dead bodies around me. I'm like, wait a minute.
Tastes delicious.
Just because of that. Do you remember the ghost thing?
Oh yes.
Yeah, and then the
Yes,
and
that is
the
right, yeah.
yes.
So hold on, back to the ghost.
Doesn't
Did the
taste like
ghost-
poison.
Was the
go on.
ghost on fire? Did the ghost look burned?
No.
Okay,
No.
so this isn't a clue. And I think
That's why I was kind of thinking poison, because
Yeah.
you know
But
poison
as
doesn't make you look all weird, and the ghost didn't look weird.
Graham is very
Poison.
familiar with poisons, and now that I've tasted it without thinking, I can tell you it's not poisonous. So
Can he,
That's a
Joe?
win.
Can
That's
he
a win.
really?
That's a win. Karen is not playing loud D&D, folks.
Can Diesa roll insight to see if she believes if Graham knows it's not poison?
I mean, sure, yeah, you can do that. He doesn't seem I don't know.
Joke. It's a joke.
Let-
Come on. So look, I think Zalfiz would start. Look, let's find whatever we can here. Any clues? It might be a dead end. This McCreevious guy might just killed. Does the body look like a gnome or human sized? Actually,
It's a human body.
this gnome might have killed McCreevious and just like tried to take this book for himself.
Well, then let's look through the rest of the
Wouldn't
cabin.
he have taken the scary magical item if he killed McCreevious for the book?
mm,
It just seems like if you're gonna go to all that trouble, why would you not take the thing?
You're right. Well, I think we should check the rest of the cabin to see what we can find.
it's a really good wine, I swear. You sure you don't have any?
Oh fuck yeah, go on, give me a little.
Gone. While he doesn't like civilization, one of the things he does like is how they've managed to manufacture nicer like drinks. Like in with this clan, they drank like really just mead. It was just meh, but like wines and stuff like that, there's something we didn't have. He's a big fan.
Okay, so as Gann and Diesa step on the northern part of the floor, the wood underneath you crumbles, and you find yourself falling through
cast Featherfall.
the floor. I'm going to need you to make me an Arcana check, or whatever the sort of equivalent of a Constitution check would be, because basically you've kind of been flung up and now you're dropping down. But you can also, before you cast a Featherfall and before you do need that check, you both do have a chance to save. So I do need to have a dex save to see if you can fling yourself and grab onto something. This is a dex save.
Dex save. Oh, what's my dex? I don't know.
Just for everyone? 'Cause I like
No,
that,
just
sorry.
those
Just
two.
just the two of us. Nat 20. Nice.
Nice.
That's for Diesa.
Okay, so
Gann.
Diesa, as the floor falls out from under you, you manage to grab onto it with both hands, and you are now clinging to the broken woodwork with an enormous drop underneath you, because this part of the cabin is over the gorge. It is at least 150 foot down.
Gann rolls a
Yo,
7.
boy. Oh, boy.
Another fall on Gann.
Oh dear. So Gann, you fall out of sight. Is Featherfall something you can cast without without your hands? Is it
I will
somatic?
tell you. Well, see, I'm a bard, so kind of my spells are weird anyway. But let me
Think it's
tell you.
vocal.
Yeah, it's vocal.
It's vocal. Okay, so give me that sort of Arcana check to see if you can do it under pressure.
Could it be Constitution?
I think this is probably Arcana considering it's under pressure. But if you'd like to do Constitution, I have no issue.
I really would. That's a 19 total.
Wow. Okay, so Gann, you basically start floating, and I'm not going to have you sail to the bottom of the gorge. You manage to direct yourself to fall directly under the cabin. From where you look, you can actually see that the boards under this room are charred, and there's a number of spots where you do realize that there is a danger of you falling through. Diesa, as you do cast the spell, you maintain your concentration, but you do feel your hands slipping. I do need a
Help!
Zalfiz,
Help!
go help her.
Help!
I have the rope still in my hand from having gone.
and you'll
tied
probably
on
be
the other
right
end.
next to her, yeah. So I need
so-
you to make me an athletics or acrobatics roll.
Is it
Me or Graham?
At
Yeah.
Diesa, but you can have it with advantage because Graham has come flying
I'm
towards
trying to
you.
catch you. I've got you.
Yeah.
Brace. Oh my god.
It's fine. It's only a DC 10, so that's.
And
11
I have
under.
pretty good acrobatics.
Yeah.
Is
You're fine. I think we'll do that. But
so
Zalfiz, as Graham
15.
pulls Diesa from the hole, you see this artifact, this magical item, start rolling towards the edge of the hole and
Right.
falling towards the gorge.
We'll try and catch it.
Okay.
Just like in my head, Zalfiz will see this rolling away. I think this is going to be valuable and or dangerous, and it's not worth it getting into the wrong hands. So we'll just try and catch it from falling into the hole.
Okay. As you touch it, its core begins
that
to
one I don't have to
glow
roll for.
with a golden radiance, and it begins like a candle flame initially, then becomes stronger and whiter until it fills your entire vision and explodes in a blinding light of pure fury and possibly the most powerful magic that has been cast in this area, well, probably since it last exploded. I need a Constitution save.
Cool. As a reaction before that goes off, can I cast shield as well? It's a reaction.
Cool. Can I do
Um,
this thing?
Of course, yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'll do the Constitution save as well. Constitution is +2. I rolled a 10.
So again, this is one of the scenarios that we're doing, which is very close to the book itself. And so as per the book, a failed save, which that
I'm fucked.
was,
That's what you're going to tell me.
you take 10d10.
Cool.
Bye, Zalfiz.
Oh my god.
shield is
10d10 plus 35 radiant damage.
Oh!
Okay, so I took 84 damage.
84 points of damage, and if that's more than your hit points after
I'm
you've
okay.
gone to 0,
I'm okay.
More
your
than
turn
twice
to
your
ashes.
max?
So if it twice your max hit points, your turn to ashes.
I'm on 3 hit points.
What?
And
Everyone can see my character sheet on Twitch. Like, yeah, so I am currently on minus 60 hit points. I have 24 hit points.
Oh no.
That's worked out
so
nicely.
Zalfiz
I'll be hanging out in chat.
is no more, as he is quite literally blown into oblivion.
Take care of Lady
Um,
Penguin.
And
He just
I
turned
guess
into like dust, like in that
Two
Avengers
wins.
film.
Did anyone even see this? Because Gann's outside and Graham is like focused on helping Diesa.
Oh yeah,
Well,
you absolutely saw. Well, particularly
we
those
just
two.
climbed up out of that, so I think we just like watched him get incinerated.
We were like, now what? Okay, just hands in the air. I don't know. I literally nope.
So as they, I guess, Gann makes his way back into the cabin, and they begin to gather their wits to figure out what to do next.
Gann's wondering
Zalfiz,
where Zalfiz is.
you open your eyes. You are still in the cabin. You look down at your ghostly form and stare into the darkness of the cabin. It's filled with a kind of strange luminescent smoke, which you recognize as a fog cloud spell. And from the room where Graham had disappeared from, you can hear a sobbing.
Hello?
You can
I'm
just
gonna
hear
walk towards that. Like, am I on the ground? Like, do I need the physical floor? Can I walk across this gap, or can I move?
Yeah, you kind of as you're walking, you realize you're actually on top of the hole, and you're just floating across it.
Okay, so like, because he's fascinated by what's gone on and his kind of his science-like nature. He's gonna be more curious about what the noise is coming from. He can see his friends are pretty much a lot better off than he is. So
They're sort of there, but they look more ghostly and insubstantial.
So I'm gonna walk towards the weeping.
And as you kind of walk close to them and you pass by Graham, he actually looks towards you for a moment, like he could see you, like he's heard something, and he sort of looks confused.
Boo! You hear that?
And you make your way into the room where you see a priest sobbing on the floor.
Hello?
And he turns around and goes, "Oh God, who are you? You've not come here to hurt me again, have you? Please, leave me alone. I'm already dead." Yes?
What the hell have you done? Hi, I'm Zalfiz, by the way. I'm here with your shopping list from the Harpers. I'm a Harper, you're a Harper. Look, introductions done. What have you done to this goddamn cabin?
I made a mistake. The machine, the summer star, it wasn't stable. But it also attracted the minions of the Frost Maiden. They don't want it activated.
Okay, hold on. The summer star.
The device is based upon a design from ancient Netheril. It's powerful, so powerful it can change the very weather itself. It could end the rime, but it was wrong.
So far it's ended a human and a gnome. You think it's going to end the rhyme? This floaty rock thing.
It's unstable. It needs modifications.
Okay. First of all, what modifications? Where's your research? You've really fucked up here, man. Like, what's the story? What's happening? What do we need to do? Are we dead?
So as you have this conversation back in the land of the living, the three of you stare over the now inert-looking summer star. It doesn't look like the same thing at all. It's blackened and seems to hold no power around the dust that was once Xalfiz.
So I'm just standing there with my eyes just open, like.
Did we?
Yeah.
Should we? I don't.
I just hand Diesa her drink, Diesa,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, Gann, Gann. I think Xalfiz is dead.
What happened?
He touched the thing, and now he's dead.
What?
Then it exploded,
I mean,
What?
but it was like,
just with
Say
a
the
bunch of
words.
ash, just.
and
whatever.
there was this light, and
Or what? Gon's looking at the summer star, I think, as you said, Joe.
Wait, Gann doesn't know that, obviously.
Yeah. Gon's looking at this rock with like bands around it on the ground, and like he like I don't know, he like nudges it with his club. I was like, what? Like this?
He
Was it
dives
this?
out of the way.
Yeah, I was like, this is a brave man.
It doesn't seem to hold whatever magic it held before. It seems inert.
Well, what? Maybe can we've got to figure out what happened here, and otherwise, Zalfiz dying would be for nothing.
I think it's best that we remember him the way he lived, practically. So, and I raise my little cup of wine, and I'm like, "You'll be missed, Zalfiz."
No, a lot of dead people. I feel like.
Well, we did kill half a town a while ago, but they were infected with something.
I'm sorry.
Long story. Yeah, Eoghan wants to, like, we need to, let's see what else we can find here, because they sent us here for Zalfiz. They sent here for a reason.
Well, look, I'm not meant to be in charge of anything. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. But if I have to get back to Jasmine and tell her what happened to Xalfiz, so
you
let's
can't go
just
back
figure
with more
out
information.
That's what I'm saying. We need to know what happened before I can tell her what happened.
Okay. One thing, Joe, just for around the cabin, from what I saw on the burnt parts under, like, from below it, can I kind of like identify them as I go through the cabin?
Yeah, and actually, now that you know where that there is damaged, you can actually kind of identify it from above. So it shouldn't be a problem, although you do know there's various spots in the cabin that you really shouldn't step on. Although actually, most of them aren't above the gorge, so you'd have a nasty fall of about 20 feet onto the snow below. So you're probably not risking your life.
Cool.
So do you want? There's 2 more rooms that you've not been into. Do you want to have a quick look through them?
Yeah, I'd like to go to the one just south of the...
3 more rooms, actually.
I'd like to go to the one just south of the barrel room.
So this is a laboratory. This room contains a fireplace, 2 empty bookcases. Tacked onto the walls and strewn across the floor are numerous frost-covered blueprints, similar to what you've seen in Xalfiz's workshop. Face down onto the floor, next to one of the blueprints, is a tiny man made from clay. You also notice that in the fireplace there is some burnt paper.
Is there anything salvageable from the paper, or is it properly burnt?
Yeah, so actually most of it isn't salvageable. It looks like maybe other blueprints that have been kind of burned and they're sort of scribbled out and screwed up. But there actually is a burnt letter, which is there. So as Diesa's looking at the letter, if either of you, Graham or Gann, have Arcana while you look at this kind of clay statue, you can give me a roll to see if you can identify it.
I've got +2 to Arcana.
I've got +2 as well. Should we both have a go at it?
Are you alright if we both roll, Joe?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, okay.
You go first. Graham?
Well, that's 8.
And I
no idea.
It doesn't seem to make any sense to me, Gann.
No, you've never come across anything like this before. Diesa, the letter is written in a very fussy hand, and although it's hard to make out, I will read it to you. It says,
Mercurius, I've had enough of this damned relentless cold. I feel its creep in my bones. My head, my heart, I'm heading back to Towns for a decent meal and a warm bed. I fear this endless winter has numbed your mind, and any tinkerer worth their chains can see the summer star is a fool's errand. Maybe without me here incessantly complaining to you, you'll finally snap out of your obsession. If you truly insist on dedicating your remaining days to this doomed project, might I suggest that 3 is better than 2. I considered telling you before, but you were particularly rude about the dinner I made last night. May the light of the Morning Lord protect you, Cooper.
17.
And as you ponder that, let's switch the camera back to Zalfiz as he faces off with Macredius.
Faces off? Okay.
Quick, roll initiative.
Oh no.
So you've read the book, you've burnt the book, I believe. Is there any way of, because we're clearly not dead, we're like some sort of weird ghost things. My companions saw your ghost friend that you obviously burnt up as well.
I don't know why we've not returned to Lathalander's embrace. I don't know why we're still alive. But no, it wasn't me that burnt the book. It was the summer star. It wasn't stable. The gyroscope wasn't correct. It needed a third ring on it. It needed something to keep it from, well, as you know, from exploding.
Well, obviously, you idiot, a gyroscope needs 3 rings. We all know that. It's basic physics. But, like, so what are the rings made of?
Well, just any metal at all.
Oh, cool.
But there's steel in the workshop, of course.
No, it's okay. I got it. Just immediately, Xalfiz is going to leave and try and pick up the actual star.
So your hand just passes through it.
Okay. The previous back again. You've read the book. Anything about how we can do anything?
No, we seem to be able to. I've tried moving things, but I can't leave the cabin. As soon as I leave the cabin, I'd wake up where I died. We're stuck here. We can move tiny things, but that's it.
Move tiny things, but that's it. Okay. I have an idea. One sec. So I'm going to go. 2 ways to do this potentially. Like Zalfiz is going to like walk back into the main room, and just because he's more or less experimenting, seeing what he can and can't do. If I cast grease, I just want to basically try and cast grease against the wall and see if it appears at all in my realm at all,
So-
or in their realm.
It does appear, but it appears to be ghostly. And Macredius comes in and goes, "God, what you're doing? Be careful! You'll attract the minions of the Frost Maiden. 2 of them were attracted by my experiments, and they were around here somewhere. They were killed with us, and they're still here. They're still alive. Just be careful. They're deadly
Okay, so-
creatures.
What are they? Like minions and creatures? These are not very descript.
You'll see them soon. Just be careful."
Okay,
Uh,
cool.
And
You're
but
really helpful.
from the east, you can actually hear the voices of your companions chatting.
Okay, so is there any like small burnt ember, like an ashy, charcoaly burnt ember?
Yeah, the whole room is a one ashy, charcoaly burnt ember.
No, but I want something small. Like you're saying, I can move small things or pick up.
Oh yeah,
small
yeah, you
things.
definitely can find something like that.
Okay. So I'm gonna pick up one of them and walk into the room they're in, and try and with the ember write Zalfiz on the wall.
Nice. Okay. And you start scratching it into the wall, and it does appear though like it's charcoal, and it's hard. Like it takes real concentration. Let's move the camera back to the other 3 as you see this appearing on the wall.
Oh, what does that say? Is he wrote his full name?
Yeah,
He's
it's
starting
what
on
it's
I am the
drawing up
brains.
I am Right.
Right? Oh no.
That's
Ah.
Zalfiz. What?
Didn't we see a ghost earlier? Now,
Ghosts.
Zalfiz, can you hear us?
Just Y on the wall.
Why? Because I'm
Why
wondering
can he
if you
hear
can
us?
yeah,
I didn't think we just set that joke up. That was very good though. Yes! Exclamation mark.
What? Where are you?
No, gone. I mean, he's here. That's
So
But
on
he's
on
not.
on the floor beneath where Zalfiz is standing by the wall, an X and here.
Okay, so he's right there. But we don't see you, Zalfiz. Where are you?
What happened?
I don't have that many embers, I don't think.
Well, I
We
think
can
we
see
know
that-
to a certain
Can I-
extent that he got blown up and that he's maybe a ghost now. So if we start from that position and work our way out,
Can I draw a crude drawing of the star and
Sure.
like an arrow to the 2 rings, and then like then do a copy of that drawing with a 3rd ring, and putting like an X beside the first drawing and a plus beside the second drawing. There's no way these dumb dumbs are gonna figure it out. Just look at the blank
So
face
it
of Niall.
seems Seems like Xalfiz has left us. He's now gone to the afterlife and has taken up crude drawings as a hobby. What is
What? Can I do an
he's trying to tell us something about the exploding evil ball, but I don't know what he's trying to tell us.
Right, I'll go get the ball. I've had a couple of drinks. I'm brave now. Let's go.
Oh, oh.
Oh no. Okay.
As this is happening, Joe, is that
I
Zalfiz
don't
is going
know
to
if
get
that's a good
frustrated?
idea.
So Zalfiz, back in the land of death, you have noticed that the fog is getting thicker, and the man, Mercurius, starts sweating. Goes, "Oh God, you've attracted them. They're coming. They're coming. What have you done? What are you doing?"
I'm already dead. Like, maybe I'm already dead. Like, what difference does it make? And like Zalfiz is getting frustrated. Like, kind of scribbles out his drawing on the wall just in frustration, and is gonna try and go to find where your man said there was steel and make a ring himself if he can.
Okay. There's probably a moment where you pass by one of your companions.
Diesa's probably standing still, like right beside him, because she's still trying to work out, like, what is he trying to tell us about the evil ball?
So when you kind of get close to her, it's like stepping into a gravity well, and you feel yourself being sucked into her very being. And Diesa, for a moment, you actually find yourself that you are Zalfiz for a moment, and it feels horrendous. Like it's
What? There's no need for that. There's no need for that. There's absolutely no need for that.
But you can push him out with an opposed charisma roll. If your very force of being can keep you as you
I
can
don't know
do
that she'd try. I think if she felt like Zalfiz was there, she'd be like, "Oh, thank God, he might tell me what the drawing means."
So
Is it like your
Diesa,
eyes rolling to the back of your head and we just hear
perfect. So Diesa, you find yourself out in a very strange, cold, dark realm filled with fog. In the corner is a sobbing man, and you see your body looking very, very confused. And from the doorway,
How do you saw that before?
there is a shining light. Zalfiz, you're in Diesa's body.
So my voice is basically coming out of her body, right?
Yeah, as her voice.
Oh, that's her voice.
Fuck if I know.
I can do her voice. Top of the morning, she like Jacksepticeye.
It started kind of like a soft antrum, and it's moved all over the island. So who the fuck knows anymore, friend?
It's going on a trip.
Look, guys.
Into every
I'm
county.
Zalfiz the brains.
Gann is like in the door between rooms because Graham's gone off to get the star, and Diesa's back there, and Gann just looks back at Diesa like, "What?
Look, God.
Diesa,
Diesa, what are you
are you
doing?"
having us on? What? Zalfiz?
This is the weirdest thing since you fell from the sky, Graham. I know it's going to sound mental, but this is a voice I have to try and learn. Look, I'm some sort of weird gnome ghost. The second in about 12 hours.
If you really are Zalfiz, if you are who you say you are, what did I ask you to make for me about 10 days ago?
It was some very, very questionable literature.
And I kind of like point at my harpoon. I'm even helping you. I'm like,
Oh yeah, the extendable, the extendable arrow 10,000.
oh yes, right. You are who you say you are. Right.
So-
what is the drawing about?
Look, it was. Never mind. I overestimated you guys. To be perfectly honest,
That's not very nice.
it wasn't. It wasn't a nice experience for me either. And I don't know how long I can still be here. That effectively bomb is meant to save the world, but it needs to have a third metal ring on it. If any of you are any good at metalwork?
No.
No.
So I'm gonna walk out to the room. Can I walk out to the room where my so I'm a pile of dust. I'm assuming my bag of holding is probably gone and everything, is it?
Yeah, all gone.
Penguin there?
Well,
Oh god,
Lady Penguin was in the bag. So.
yeah.
Oh,
she,
yeah.
she would have.
No, you let her out.
Yeah.
Did
She's
you let her
metal.
out? Did
Yeah, he did say that. He did.
He did.
So, what was Cooper told me where there was steel, Joe? You said, right?
Yeah, so in the bottom left-hand corner of the maps, the first room you went into, there was a forge and a sort of tinkerer's workshop.
So look, just while I'm here, and I'm gonna get like a stick and not touch the morning star and go. These two rings here are to stabilize it. It's meant to have a third ring, but this idiot priest doesn't know science and just killed himself. Again, I got killed. All right. So
absolutely rudimentary. Everyone knows you need a third ring. Duh.
Of course.
I know. I
Basic
totally
science.
Guns like
And-
yeah.
Cooper, you idiot! 'Cause I know you're listening. See, and into the smithy to try and knock up a ring, I guess.
Sure. Okay. So you, the three of you climb through the window onto the platform outside, and it is dark outside, way darker than it should be. And from the distance, you can see on the horizon a blinding white light. And Gann, this is the same white light you saw before you found your tribe missing, or most of them missing, but most of them dead, or a few of them dead.
It could be most and most.
Sorry, most of them missing, but the ones that remained in the camp, they were completely dead. And this blinding white, almost searchlight on the horizon is what you saw just before arriving in the camp. Meanwhile, Diesa, from the doorway is a strange beings. They appear in the broken window, and they claw their way in. These creatures, at first you'd have thought they were kind of like icicles, but they have these tendril arms coming off, almost like sort of ice growing out in all directions. And they see you and they gaze at you with blue, evil eyes. And I need you to roll initiative.
Wait, is she rolling initiative in Zalfiz's body?
No, because she's her.
Spirit. She's her spirit.
I am a spirit. I get my own powers.
I'm
Thank
joking.
Christ. Okay, so I got a +3. To
However,
initiative,
you
so
are
that's a 10.
actually like pure ego, so you don't have to look like you. So if you want to look like something else, that is absolutely fine.
Diesa's a simple girl. She is very confident in herself. She looks exactly the same.
Okay. Okay, so you got a 10. Let's see how these creatures do. I'm going to use the same initiative for both of them, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they also got a 10. What's your dexterity?
My dexterity, I think, is +2. Yeah,
Then
+2.
you absolutely go first as they begin to crawl into the room. And with every touch, they freeze the wood beneath it, even in this strange realm.
Okay. Well, that seems ominous. So Diesa's not mad on that. So let's have an look-see here. So she's gonna cast Thunder Wave on them. So they both have to make Constitution saving throws.
Okay, so as they, so what's the range of them? Are you going to step closer to do that?
Well, it's a 15-foot cube, but I will step within 10 feet of them because I can't imagine it's not a huge cabin.
Okay,
So they're gonna make it to me next turn anyway, so it's sort of redundant. So I'll just step forward.
What's the save?
The DC's 14.
Okay, they both fail. Roll full damage.
And they get knocked another
Back
10
10
feet away
feet.
from me.
Thunderwave is.
So they get probably
as far
knocked
as I
back
go.
out the door.
Did we hear any of this, or like? Is
Yeah,
it like just a little rumble?
absolutely.
Everyone for like a 100 feet.
Yeah.
Or is it? So it's 8 damage each.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so
300 feet is the audible boom.
So they're sort of blown out, and the whole cabin seems to rock, and everyone back in the actual cabin of the real world of it, you feel the floor begin to shake underneath you, and ice begins to fall from the ceiling. Who's going to do the forging? Are you going to try and do it, Xalfiz, in Diesa's body?
100%, I imagine, probably.
Yeah, I would imagine
that would be the best bet, I think.
Not very
when I hear this
strong.
big thunderclap, I'm like, Lee, who, what?
Oh yeah.
I'm just getting these like this like
So just to get across how we're
these
fixed,
flashbacks of like the gloves being smashed together.
I've provision of alchemist tools, brewers tools, thieves tools, tinkerers tools, woodcarvers tools. Surely some of them are going to be a +2, right?
Well, I mean, really, it'd be blacksmithy tools, so this is going to be
There's
tricky.
no
isn't it?
blacksmithy tools. You can't make up tools.
What- Oh god, I think probably we can do this as a tinker.
Smiths, it's Smith's
It's
tools
Smith's
are the
tools.
same thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
Smith's tools are a thing.
yeah. So you can do it, but you're going to probably be rolling at disadvantage, and I think that's probably fair, being in Diesa's body as well. As you're kind of like hammering away, trying to get the forge up to strength, Graham and Gann, you can see more lights appearing on the horizon. Something is heading towards you.
Gann is basically, he's at the window or a door or whatever, looking out at it, and he's got his shield and his club out, and he's waiting for whatever it is to come. Visibly, he looks terrified. Graham doesn't know why. He hasn't told any of the party about what's happened in his past, and he's basically waiting to see what comes from there, if anything comes from where he sees the lights.
I've never seen
Okay.
you like this before, Gann. What's wrong?
Something bad is coming, whatever that light is. I've seen it before.
guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
Zalfiz.
I just need you to buy me some time. Just buy me some time. They might be minions of the Frost Maiden. Kind of forgot to tell you that. I asked what they were. I was told we'd know when we see them, which sounds kind of worrying.
Okay,
Yeah.
you get to work. What can we
Alright.
help you at all, or
Keep me alive this time.
Okay.
Okay.
So Zalfiz, give me the first roll.
Just a flat roll, basically, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're going to be rolling with disadvantage. I think you can probably.
19. We'll take a 19 for the first one.
yes,
Well, so 19 for the first one, but it's at disadvantage because you're not trained.
get a 20 for the second one.
Oh, yeah, 7.
So I actually think you kind of start hammering against it, but you just can't quite
Could I-
coordinate your body with that of Diesa's. Go on, God.
Could I cast bonfire in the forge to heat up the metal more to aid him?
I'd really like that idea. Maybe it hadn't been done quite right. As you're doing that, let's flick the camera over to Diesa. So Diesa, the two creatures appear back in the window, and the blue flame appearing off their icy bodies is looking more and more angry, and they burst in this fiery, icy light which explodes towards you. I need you to make me 2 Constitution saves.
Okie I can't save. It's supposed to. So it's a dirty 20 and a 14.
14, that's both passes. You'll take half damage for these. So it is, hang on, it's 3. Let me do this all at once. 2, so that's 5. 9 and 11 points of damage, so half will say 5. And I need you to give me a constitution, a charisma roll to see if you can stay in this world.
Okay, just a charisma check or a saving throw?
A charisma save.
That is a 22.
So you've kind of found yourself shimmering for a moment, and then your body restores itself, and you're still facing off as these beings. Zalfiz, you have managed to get the forge up to heat, and you've got the metal pounding underneath you. It's taken quite a while. Outside Graham and Gann, you can see this creature emerging through the darkness. It seems to be that of a humanoid creature, but its head is bound up in the brightest light you can possibly imagine, and even squinting at it hurts your eyes. Around it are numerous other creatures, each one stumbling, that of a walking frozen corpse. They'll be here within a minute. Zalfiz, as you kind of pound against this metal, I need you to give me another roll.
$17.
Ooh. Disadvantage.
Oh,
But this time,
you
this
said
time
another
can I,
roll.
This time, can I actually, before he does a roll, can I actually help him?
Okay,
Because I
yeah.
saw he failed the first one. I'd like to cast Heat Metal, which is a 2nd level spell.
Nice, okay. That eliminates the disadvantage and gives
Hmm.
that 17, which is enough. You have forged the ring and you have
Niall.
you have created the modified Summer Star. So I need you to give me a Arcana roll to see if you can infuse it.
Arcana roll +3. Lovely. I rolled 13.
So that is a fail. You've managed to create it, but you haven't managed to align whatever magics are kind of held within the 2 rings and add it to the 3rd. Meanwhile, Gann and Graham, this creature has now approached within 30 feet of the cabin, and staring at it, you see this blinding light explode towards you, and you both give me Constitution saves.
Oh, this is not good.
Although actually, Gann, probably you're in the cabin casting heat metal, so it's probably just Graham.
Yeah, it's just me. And I've rolled a 2.
So you stumble back, you kind of blink your eyes, and there's just blackness. You can't see anything, but you can hear from the bottom of the steps numerous frozen corpses making their way up the steps towards you. You are effectively blind.
I can't see. I can't. I can't see. Gone.
Okay, so Gann.
Xalfiz.
Oh, shit. Zalfiz, finish what
Xalfiz.
you're doing. I've got to go help Graham. And Gann's going to run to where he sees, like, I can't see out the stairs, can I? Gann's going to go out the window that he came in, and he's going to beast shape into a bear.
God, the
Nice.
practical decision here might be just to let him fend for himself. Just saying.
Gann's gone. You're talking to yourself. Your back is to me.
Please, goddamn.
So, Diesa, back in the land of the dead, you are facing off against these 2 icy demons. It's your round of initiative. They are basically in the window again after you'd blown them back.
Yeah. Kinda just trying to decide what I can do the most damage with. But I'm gonna run forward. And I am going to attack with my rapier. So for the first one, I get a 19 to hit.
19 is a hit. And your rapier crashes through it like it actually seems to be made of living ice itself, and your rapier seems to be a deadly weapon against it. Give me a damage roll.
Oof, yes.
Nice.
That's an 8
Very
plus,
nice.
plus 4 is 12 piercing damage.
So the creature crumbles around and turns to water and just melts away. Its companion looks up at you with evil malignity and goes to cast another spell, and you are completely engulfed in this kind of icy turbulence. I need you to make me another con roll.
Do it.
Okey-dokey. Con saving throw?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no! I was rolling so well too.
Okay,
It couldn't last.
So he actually rolled terribly badly, but because you've rolled a 1, I'm going to say that it's critted on its spell, so it does 4 full damage, which is 8 plus the 3 it rolled, so that's 11 points of damage.
It's fine.
That's okay.
I'm still up. I'm good.
And I need you to make me another charisma save to see if you can still stay in the land of the dead.
Oh my god!
The back to back.
That's a 26. So
You're absolutely fine where you are. Meanwhile,
No.
Zalfiz, hammering against this magical forge heated by Gonn's druid craft. Give me that Arcana roll again as you try and infuse the magic of the two rings into the third.
Come on, goddammit.
15. Oh, it's wrong voice. Never mind.
15 will do it. So it begins to spin, and you see that kind of candle whisper of fire burning within it, and it spreads to the first ring, and the first ring begins to move even faster. You're still kind of holding on to the third, and you're desperate to hold on to it.
That's the face
Cringing
Zalfiz
power.
making. He's like, oh god, not again.
You feel yourself, or is it Diesa? You can't tell, being absorbed into this ring as it begins to kind of fight for more energy. The room itself begins to darken. The forge fire seems to fade away as its very light, its very power is sucked into that of the summer star. And I need you to give me another charisma roll to see if you can keep yourself alive.
They're not. Zalfiz is
Well,
not
which
very
of us?
charismatic.
Which one, Zalfiz or Diesa?
We'll start with Zalfiz.
Shocking enough, he's not very charismatic.
Taking down with you, huh?
Oh boy, even 10. Ooh.
So Zalfiz is blown out of Diesa's body. Diesa, you are sucked from the world of the dead back into your body, and you feel you kind of look around yourself completely disoriented, and you're holding on to this wildly spinning summer star. The first ring is now completely burning with arcane energy, and it spreads to the second, and you feel yourself losing control. You feel yourself being sucked into it. And before I give you a roll, we're going to move out to Eoghan, as climbing towards you is a host of the frozen dead, and behind them this cold light walker. There's another explosion of pale light as this brightness is forced into your eyes, burning away your very vision. Can you give me a con roll?
All right. Well, I'm a bear, so I have a +3 to that at least. I got a 21.
Make that con roll.
You squint through the blackness and realize that you can still see this hazy frozen figure reaching towards you with icy fingers, and to your horror you realize this is a 10 townsperson. This is someone sacrificed to the Frost Maiden, brought back to life for her terrible bidding, and it's reaching up a terrible hand towards you to strike down, but you have the initiative. Give me your attack roll.
So I'd rather not do an attack roll. What I want to do is, just because I'm a bear, I'm heavy. I want to just bring my weight down on the pathway in front of me and just shatter it so that they can't get into the cabin.
Oh, I love it. Give me an athletics roll.
Strength +4
Be the
with the
most
bear.
athletic bear.
Boom.
Oh god.
I can
God, you're the worst. Niall. Niall, you're the worst.
I like do that, but I slip. Like, don't do it properly.
No, you absolutely break through it, but just one plank breaks and two of your paws go straight through, and you end up face planting in front of this frozen creature, which smashes its icy hand towards you. Let's see how much. Well, let's see if it can hit. It's going to roll with advantage. Oh god. Well, the first one's definitely a miss with an 8, and the second. Oh god.
Joe's bad streak continues
I
for 3 episodes.
So somehow it misses me, even though I'm stuck in the ground.
Yeah, so I guess maybe it just went for where you were, but as you crashed down, its hands swoop
Swiped
above your
over me,
head.
You
yeah.
dropped it from
Like
the hand
that.
from the ground. Yeah.
But the power it sweeps with is incredible, and its hands crash into the wall and through them. And again, the whole cabin shakes with this force, and behind it are more of these creatures coming towards you. I think. Let's see, Diesa, can you give me this charisma roll to see? If
I
you can
just rolled it because I
self
actually thought you were
yourself?
talking to me when you were talking to
Okay, no problem. What did
Niall,
you
and no, I rolled it, and hilariously it was another natural.
Was
It was, yeah.
You can scroll up on Roll20.
get?
it's
I
still
won't
there.
believe it. Wow, okay, with a natural 20, the summer star manages to draw enough power from the world around it, and you keep yourself, although you feel your very life essence, your warmth being sucked into it, and the third ring takes shape.
Can
All
I-
you need to do is attune yourself. Go on. What were you
Oh,
saying?
okay.
That will take 5 hours.
it takes all
Okay,
night. 24
that's-
hours.
Do I? Okay. I don't know if I can get some kind of roll for this because this is
Okay.
not. I don't know if I have it. Does she feel like she could control this item, or does she feel like it's a bomb about to go off that she should lob like a grenade? Like, what is the sense she's getting from this item?
The sense you get from it is that without attunement, without a guiding force, it will go off and it won't do its job. It will just kill everyone around you.
Okay, so I would like to run to the window
Okay.
so that I can see what's going on, and away from Graham so he's not in the blast radius if this goes wrong. I would like to try. At first, I want to see. Can I see Gann out the window?
Oh yeah. You can see this. Well, you probably.
I
can't.
would.
He's
I would
probably
like
just ducked down.
to yell to him. I think some of us might survive, and give him bardic inspiration. And
Nice.
That's his
then I'm gonna take my action to like focus on the summer star.
Okay, so give me a charisma roll to see if you can charisma. Yeah, so it'd be a straight charisma roll to see if you can attune to the summer star. So you can't do it. You feel that this explosion is getting away from you, and suddenly, so with a 5, and suddenly you hear.
Well, technically, it was a
Zalfiz.
9.
Was it a
Technically
9? I do apologise. You hear Xalfiz from within the ring offering you advice, and he basically is within the ring. So Xalfiz, you can have a moment to try and offer this this last roll, and I will give Xalfiz, either you can do it, take control of the ring and give me that charisma roll, or you can advise Diesa. And I realise we've got 2 minutes left.
Because
I
there's 2
have
of them.
very high charisma.
I don't mind who rolls it, but you can roll with advantage because there is 2 of you.
Zalfiz?
Advise her and give her. Yeah.
Is Owen listening? I can't tell.
Owen.
Sorry. No,
For
I
God's
was
sake.
100%. My bad. Sorry, go again.
I
That was embarrassing. Go.
we now have 1 minute left, so I'm going to say, Diesa, do you want to give me the roll?
Yeah. Do I roll again?
Yeah, please do.
With
You
Zalfiz
can
helping
roll
me?
with
Okay.
advantage because
Yeah,
Zalfiz is helping.
Go for it. Definitely helping. 100% helping.
Come on. Oh, okay. So 18 total.
18 will do it. So there is an explosion of power that just sweeps out across the land. This ray of light piles up into the sky and the clouds are separated. This basically casts the level 8 spell Control Weather. And for a moment, within a 10-mile radius, the Rime of the Frost Maiden is broken and her beings are destroyed. And you all sit in the sunlight. And you look around you, and Zalfiz is there. And so is
Zalfiz, you're
Reghed.
alive! I
And-
always knew you were.
There is this kind of summery glow. You're all glowing with the light of the Morning Lord. And Reghed looks at you all and he goes, "You have done a very great thing today. You have not stopped the Rime, but you may have given us a chance. This technology, the thing that you have found, could save us all. All you need to do is..." And then he fades from existence. But you have all received the blessing of the Morning Lord. Every morning you will awake with 10 temporary hit points that will last the day, because the Morning Lord has blessed you for bringing this moment of summer into the wintry nightmare of Icewind Dale.
Cool.
Joe
I
never
like
gives
that
us
at
good
all.
stuff.
A lot.
Joe never gives us good stuff. This is more terrifying than cool.
So we are out of time, and we're going to continue this post game discussion on twitch.tv/doesitroll. Orla, just want to take a moment. I hope we're still being hosted on twitch.tv/D&D. Just do you want to say, thank you so much for joining us, and can you tell us
Well,
a bit
thank
about
for
who you
having
are
me.
and where people can find more of your stuff?
Yeah. So, hi, I'm Orla. I
Hello.
am on Twitter far too often at naturally Orla. And that's where you can find everything. Everything funnels through there. And I hang out, play D&D with people. Sometimes I do it on Twitch. Sometimes I write D&D things. It's fun.
Well, I mean, I'd love to plug your amazing Eberron adventure, Murder on the Eberron Explorers, which we have played on How We Roll podcast, and it is just incredible. So please do. Is it DM's Guild, right?
Yeah, I do have that one. I'm just updating it because people always, people go and they play it on podcasts and they play it on streams, and you think you've fixed all the stuff, and then you like hear other DMs run it, and you're like, oh, I should have, make it better. I can keep making it better.
I don't think there was anything wrong with it. I had a lot of fun.
It was fantastic.
It was good. I mean,
and I have another murder mystery coming out.
Oh, amazing! Oh well, please let us know because
weeks.
we're always looking for more one shots to play on Does It Roll and also on How We Roll podcast. I am going to hand over the hosting duties over to Owen for the post game discussion. Assuming, of course, Owen, you are listening right now. Are you
100%.
still?
100%. I just said in the chat that after 5 years, you get a sense of when you're no longer needed for a scene, and sometimes you get it wrong. I was like, oh, I'm not there. I was like. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. This is why we stopped streaming live originally. Anyway, that was a...
True story.
Yeah, it really is. All right, so that was definitely a way more in our wheelhouse type of scenario for me, I think. So we're going to have a few questions, guys. If any questions, throw them into chat. I'm going to start off with a couple of my own just to see what the guys think. So Joe, as the DM, this was, like I said, way more into our kind of horror base, like what's comfortable for us as players in a podcast. How does it feel getting back to kind of your roots for a DM?
I mean, I'd actually say of the 4 scenarios we've done in Rime and the Frostmaid, I would say this was probably the least horrific. I really wanted to have the cabin be this big.
But okay.
Well, yeah, I guess character death. When I originally wrote it, I wanted the whole thing to be based in the cabin, and I wanted it to be a really claustrophobic thing. But I just couldn't make it work with the time that I had to, because obviously we write these week by week, and I just couldn't make it work with the time I had. So I did it almost directly from the book, although I did add the stuff at the beginning and the stuff at the woods, because I quite liked having the foreshadowing in. I really liked it. I really liked playing with you. The way that you approached it, I thought it was really cool. I think it went well.
Okay, and I'm going to
try
try
to
to
answer your question there.
you kind of did. I mean, for Kuran and Niall, especially for you, Kuran, because you played less D&D, how did you find it getting into something that's probably a little more familiar in terms of tone and atmosphere?
It was good. It was refreshing. No, I don't. I liked it. It was good. I'm comfortable with being told that everything's the worst and you're going to die. So,
yeah, don't touch anything or look at anything.
Yeah. And then what I do is I tend to touch the things and do the things. So this is the... Got to drive the story along, right?
What I've realized is, Niall, you want to be the hero, it seems, at every turn. But for the dice, you probably would have been on several occasions.
Gann just wants to help everyone, but he's not good at rolling. He's not good at rolling at all.
I really liked how we got some of Gann's, because I think the first 3 episodes of this very much focused on Kuran's character Graham, and we talked about his backstory and the whole thing around the comet, which I've loved. And I've now wanted to draw out some of Zalfiz's background with the Harpers, but also kind of hint at stuff from Niall as well. So of it is very much a hint, but I really like that we can sort of head in that direction over the next few weeks as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Orla, for you then, obviously, I know I've played in a couple of games with you myself, but in terms of bringing a character you've used in several scenarios, how do you feel about the possibility of her dying or actually dying? No, she did.
It's fine. I mean, she more like a body swap. It's more like a body swap than a dying.
We freaky fried it, I guess.
Astral projecting.
You fried it.
Well, obviously it's fine because it's not like we're playing Adventurers League. I can keep playing her somewhere else. Basically, it's my Waterdeep Dragon Heist character.
Nice.
Coincidentally from the Icewind Dales, and I was just like, and I haven't got to play her in ages, so I was just like, oh, I was really fond of that character. It was sort of the so I was like this kind of wacky fighty bard. So yeah, no, great fun. I'm gonna take the wig off though because I've stopped being able to feel the top of my head.
Go first. I like once I died, I was like, is it funny if I take off my tie and throw it across the room and fake anger? I was like, it looks too weird. One of the things is we also have a Ram doing the producing, and now we can't hear what the sound effects are, but as was very obvious, I was watching chat a bit. The amount of people who are commenting on like, oh, the transitions, this music is so good and the sound effect is so good. Aram, there's a lot of people asking where you get your music and where the sound effects come from.
a lot of sources I get my music and sound effects. Battle Bards is a big part of it. There's a fantastic
It's about to do
website.
an impersonation of you for the BattleBards ad.
Yeah.
BattleBards.com.
Yeah, if you do listen to any of the sounds on Battle Bards, I'm the voice going battlebards.com. Every like 5 seconds, that's me. And I also get a lot of sounds from a website called freesounds.org. There's a lot of music on the Free Music Archive. I'll list a bunch of the sources for music, sound effects, and everything else in the notes when we put this one up on YouTube and in our podcast.
There you go. You're getting some love for your cosplay as well with Sam in chat for getting that was an actual wig. Orla.
Yeah, I genuinely.
God,
after
it
a
was
while-
so much wig. It was so much wig.
Can I ask Joe, what did you think when you're thinking, I have 2 hours, and Orla disappeared off camera for a second? Your face was priceless.
But the context of the way you did it, I kind of assumed you'd come back on. I didn't know it was going to be a wig, but I felt that there was, like, it didn't feel like, oh, hang on, I'm going to the toilet.
I'm going to go to the bathroom, excuse me.
It felt
Yeah, no.
intentional. I was just like, what's going to happen? Like,
Yeah, see, I wasn't sure. I actually, the only person who knew I was going to do that as a ROM, because I didn't want to totally go out of left field. Because, you know, when you haven't played on a stream with people before, obviously I have played with Owen before, but obviously I haven't played with you before, and you don't know if you're like something's funny with one group of people, and then like maybe it's the wrong tone with a different group of people, and you're like,
We're
oh,
completely okay with it.
I love how we
Yeah,
Is it
very
gonna
much so,
hit
yeah.
wrong? Is it gonna come off like I'm being weird? And so I said, Aram, is this gonna be funny, or am I gonna seem like an asshole? He was like, do it.
Yeah, I said do it, but I want you all to know that I completely and totally forgot that I said do it. So when she went to go put on the wig, I didn't know what was happening either.
I love how we apparently have the image of the podcast who might get angry and pissy about making a joke. I didn't know that was our image out there.
Honestly, but just, you know, like sometimes when you just haven't played before, you're like, okay, I'm gonna just double check this is a good idea.
Yeah.
If you'd asked me
No,
right
it's
after we
very
went off
cool.
screen, I would have thought
Well-
uilleann pipes were coming, because I thought you'd said bagpipes or uilleann pipes. I was like, if she has bagpipes, I'm going to lose my mind.
That would have been
So
Yes.
Orla, you doing that prompted Owen to say, "Oh yeah, and if he gets subscribers, we paid Niall blue, and we got our first subscribers tonight. So
We
thank
got-
you very much."
we got so many
Awful Monk and
subscribers.
Squire.
yeah, blue.
Yeah, we definitely got way more than
Blue.
you need to be a Smurf, so you're absolutely doing it now.
For the finale, you're going to be Blue Nile, 100%.
I
Work
think
towards
probably
it,
everyone
work
should
towards it.
cosplay. I think this should be a thing. I mean, obviously, I don't
Oh.
need to.
Owen, you got to get the hair.
I would
6 foot
genuinely-
hair.
Genuinely, 6 foot. Genuinely, I would like go the last 4 weeks without getting a haircut and spike it as high as I could. I'll do that. I can't grow a mustache, so that's out of the question.
You could
I mean,
get
that's the
that,
thing is fake mustaches. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a.
that frost.
Not in
I've heard of
Ireland.
those
Not,
things, yeah.
not in Ireland. I mean, you're rich English
I'll-
folk over there, your fake mustache.
I'll Amazon you one.
Hairspray?
It's cool.
Yeah, that like kind of a sparkly hairspray you only really
The
see
hair-
around
sparkly
Halloween.
hairspray
Yes,
that would
yes,
make your hair look kind of frosty.
100%.
You could do that.
Let's get back to Niall being blue and how Current's been.
I've noticed that Kuran's being very quiet.
I don't know what
He's
you're
a
talking
human.
about.
He's got to wear a parka and he's got his
Wear a
cosplay.
big coat.
Well, he's also gonna have to shave.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, that's
There we go.
bad.
That'd be worse than the hair. So yeah, like to Niall's point, Awful Monk, the Squire, and Sam. I'm not going to pronounce your screen name. Sam all dropped subscriptions. I don't know if anyone else did, but if you did, oh, Curran did also. Thank you, Curran.
Awful Monk gifted
I was-
a bunch too.
I was
so,
going to drop one.
Gifting.
As,
yeah.
I was going to gift one as well, but then I realized I'm on the Does It Roll account and I don't have my my credit card set up, so I was like, I can't spend Aram's money. So,
Yeah, I will give some next week. I don't have anything set up with my Twitch, but I will. I'll do that next week.
so there's a reason to come back next week, guys. You might get a free sub, and we'll have emotes and everything set up. Ghostbox, thank you very much for a subscription. And also, guys, if you do subscribe, subscribers get 2 entries into the giveaway. So
Oh,
we'll be doing the giveaway in a second. I love.
Oh
Whoa.
my
Eoghan.
god!
fucking
Oh no! Oh, that's another
Uh,
5.
Awful Monk, you are.
He's in the
amazing.
leaderboard right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Awful Monk. At the end of this, I might send you a message from the Does It Roll account. See if we can get you something sorted out. Thank you very
we'll be able
much.
to, we can sort you something out. Absolutely, no, thank you.
Because that's now 10 gifted subs he's done. I think
That's
maybe more.
Yeah.
phenomenal. Wow.
Lunatic. So
wow.
there might, I don't know if there is any questions in the chat because I kind of got blown away by the fact. I think what,
So there was a question that was asking about whether this was one of my own things or whether this was from the book. So all of the things we've done, other than our first ever episode, are from the book. I wrote that completely myself. Although me, Aram, we did quite a lot of chatting about that beforehand, didn't we? We kind of sort of did that a bit together.
Yeah, I was happy. I think I sent you a link to Jack London's story about dying in the snow.
Yes,
yeah.
which I did read and loved as well.
Good, because I hated that. I hated reading Jack London like 5 times in high school in Virginia. So I'm glad that finally, proved some value.
Which reminds me, I've got a whole lot of notes I made from that. But anyway, so this story was done. Once they got to the cabin, it was pretty much the same as the book. So I'd move things around, like the stuff about possessing, that's something I came up
The
myself.
Harper's is part of my backstory, isn't it?
No, yeah, but what I meant, it said pre the cabin I made up. Once they were in the cabin, it's from the book. They used the descriptions from the book. The bit about being a ghost, that's from the book, although they don't give you a lot of advice about like jumping into each other's bodies. That I just done because I realized we were very short time, and I thought it'd be fun to make Owen try and do Orla's voice, which it was.
And what voice would that be? I was really, like, this morning I was so determined I was gonna do an accent, and I just kept forgetting that I was supposed to be doing an accent.
Well, I keep going back
So
to
it only happened for random sentences.
I found it really stressful DMing from the book, because normally I do my own thing and I just do what I want. Whereas this, I had to keep on referring to the book and reading. I'm not sure whether I'll do it again.
Also, Joe is currently living in a black hole, the darkest place known to man.
Yeah, like I couldn't read the damn thing either. So I found tonight really stressful, particularly when Niall decided to talk to the rabbits. I was like, fuck.
I can't believe you didn't.
So what I was
going to
do is
at any point.
I was just going to ask, to say to them, I didn't expect them to talk back. And as I said, my spell doesn't let that happen. So you don't have to worry in the future.
So that came about because on the How We Roll Discord, we are doing a book club, and every month we do a different book. And currently we're doing The Name of the Wind, which I'm re-listening to. And Rupert Degas, he's the most amazing, my favorite book narrator of all time, does these incredible voices. And there's a character with the Name of the Ring called Aori, I can never say her name, and I've been trying to do her voice. So the rabbits was my version of Aori's voice, which I think I thought it was pretty good in my head. I don't know, but how it sounded to you guys.
She's Welsh, right? As long as you're not going to say she's like Spanish, yeah, it was pretty good.
I was saying, visually, you actually you looked a lot like the gnome that we saw in the forest, right? It was like a pitch black. This ghostly figure.
Yeah. But I wasn't being a gnome. I was being a rabbit, so I've definitely failed there.
No, I don't mean the voice. I'm talking about just visually.
So I have a question for you, Joe.
Sure.
When the gnome showed up and no one followed it, how annoyed were you?
Not at all. I really thought it was quite a cool scene. I did actually consider just giving you the scene anyway, so there was a chance to find Cooper's body. But I actually thought that actually having the ghost appear and disappear was spooky enough. You didn't need to have me, railroading you to the place I want you to go anyway. And I think that it was just like dressing. It's about foreshadowing. There's like you would have found it frozen. Frozen.
I think it's just as well me and Niall weren't on watch, because me and Niall would have walked straight at that.
Oh god, yeah, Gann would have chased it.
Yeah, I honestly thought Diesa was either going to run by herself and tell Graham to wake the others, and be alone. And so that was a bit of a meta decision, because I was like, well, I don't want to be just me and all the other players in a different place. But then
you're overthinking it.
But then I was also like, maybe Diesa knows better than to chase a ghost in a spooky wood in the middle of the Icewind Dales after 2 years of this shit, Like, she's not that smart, but she's not that dumb either,
I thought we played it well. It was very casual.
I thought it was great.
I look at you look at me. We're like, did we do anything about that?
No, I like how nothing was mentioned about it until we actually got out of the forest on the other end. It was like, oh yeah, by the way, there was a ghost.
We saw a ghost.
We tried not to think about that.
If you ever write mystery stories, there's this thing called the rule of 3, and without going into too much detail, it basically means that there's at least 3 ways to get to where you're going. Because I think one of the negatives about poorly written mystery scenarios is that if you don't find a clue, then you're fucked. You can't progress anymore.
And
this idea of the rule of 3.
The cabin.
Well, I think then you went into the second room, and despite the fact there were 4 more rooms, you kind of just stayed there. I was like,
well, we didn't have time because after we got to the second room, everything kicked off.
Well, that was because anyway, I don't but you absolutely didn't miss a clue by not chasing the gnome. It was a lot of it to do with setting atmosphere and making you feel paranoid and worried for your characters. So,
We
you know,
wouldn't
don't
have
worry
met
about
the rabbit if we did that as well. I don't think. Was the rabbit after that? Like the
No,
rabbit.
the rabbit-
We met
that
the
was
rabbit
before.
first.
that.
All right, we
Yeah.
might have to get artwork for the rabbit. People are still talking about the
Yeah,
rabbit in chat.
I hope that rabbit comes back as like a.
So the way I practice, a lot of people say, "How do you?" I mean, most of my voices are terrible. The way I practice them is I read to my kids every night, and so I will read, say, the Gruffalo, doing a different voice for each of the animals. But every time I'm practicing a new voice, I'll do that voice for the various
Joe,
animals.
we did 2 years of Curse of Strahd with horror voices. Your poor kids.
And well, so I do. There's a voice that I do in Curse of Strahd for Rahadin, which I am banned from doing in the house because my wife hates it so much. It sort of is this sort of like silence that no, that's not it. That's turning into damage.
It's like Hannibal Lecter, kind of.
It's Hannibal Lecter sort of silence stuff. But anyway, so I've been practicing that Welsh voice all week, and maybe for 2 weeks. I've just wasted it on a rabbit who appeared for 2 minutes. So I'm going to have to bring that. I really like that voice, and I love the character, so it will come back. Not the character of the rabbit, the character of your name.
The rabbit must return.
The rabbit must return.
Yeah, the only question we have is the rabbit must return. The rabbit's greater than Lady Penguin. Use Lady Penguin more. Then the rabbit's greater than.
I would say that actually. Say, I mean, is Lady Penguin gone for good, Zalfiz? That's my question for you.
She's metal. I mean, it was fire. Surely she didn't disappear.
But also, you specifically let her out of the bag, so she could have been on the totally other side of the room.
I'm so used to Joe cheesing me out of stuff I've earned. I was like, I'm going to tell you how I bring this in the window because I know that you'll tell me the Lady Penguin is out on that fucking ledge if I don't. That's why I made such a point of it.
I mean, we can leave it till next week to find out. But I mean, you could talk about your artificer. I can never say that word. Artificer. Yeah.
Yes.
It has a power to regen your companions.
I have the technology to rebuild it, and like it'll become more bullshit and overpowered the more. I mean, yeah. if I start completely seeing it as a person, I mean, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Should we do the giveaway?
They identify as an object, I guess. Yes, we shall do the giveaway. So we have 10 people eligible that have entered by typing I love DIR, all one word. If you want to enter, I'll give you 30 seconds to a minute to do this. The people who are eligible are Awful Monk, Cyborg, Averner, Dan Mohorter. God, this is a problem. I should read these usernames. Hat Viking, Coker Heckus, Miss Moogle, Moose P0RN. I'm not going to say that loud.
Oh no.
RPG Apparel, the Ghost Box,
I like this
and
died.
Yanarl. All right. Don't seem like there's anyone else entering. So the first one up, Joe, I'm right, is the booster pack.
The booster pack from WizKids, yeah. So it's 4 miniatures. They are already painted. They're really, really cool.
Okay, and Ghostbox has promised that if he wins, he's going to paint it up and give it away to one of the crew. And I cheekily tried to. One of the reasons I was distracted, I tried to claim that in chat. But I would told this going to Joe if he wants it first. So the winner of the booster pack mini is Ghostbox. That is not rigged.
No.
I hit a button and it happens. That is not rigged. Okay.
Oh,
amazing! Oh, congratulations, Ghostbox. That's incredible. Please do send us your details. I think somewhere. Either here or on the Discord, or you can send it directly to me at howyroll@gmail.com.
So stick around. There's one more prize giveaway. Is there one more? Am I right? Is there a second?
Yeah,
prize?
there is. So we have a D&D Beyond code for Rime and the Frost Maiden itself. So it will unlock, even if you don't have an account, you can set up an account for free, and it'll unlock Rime and the Frost Maiden for you on the whole campaign.
And I also didn't realize Joe was going to go into his big, huge speech. So congratulations, Moose Power, and you've won it. Might as well say your full name for the win. So,
you must have clicked that button fast because that was not much of a speech.
Is that not an
I was like, "Is there a second prize?" And Joe went, "Yes." I was like, "Hit the button," because I didn't know. He was going the salesman mode. Which, to be fair, that's what he should have done. I'm very proud of you, Joe.
And if you tune in next
no
week,
extendable poll,
Gann will
but,
turn into a moose for you.
Okay, look, guys. Ghost or Sid, the Ghost Box, will be able to get in contact with you in the Discord. Moose, I'll message you on Twitch now. We just need we don't even need an email. We can send you the code over the messenger on Twitch, or if you want to give us an email, we can get it that way, assuming you're sitting in chat.
Amazing.
I think that's everything from us, unless we have anything else to say.
Well, I mean, it depends if there's any more questions or anyone want to discuss anything that we're doing. So next week, I believe we are. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong. I may have got this completely wrong, but I believe that we're joined by Lauren from D&B Beyond. I believe Obo Crazy is in chat, and I am so stoked to be playing with Lauren again. And yes, fantastic. I am correct. So it's going to be. I've got a couple of ideas for what it will be, and she's DM'd for me twice, and I'm sure I've caused her horrendous stress, including coming up with a peanut gag in a live game as part of D&T Live.
Oh man, I felt so sorry for her. You really should let the curveball at her.
So your opportunity, Lauren, to get your revenge. Please don't.
Lauren, we'll get you into Discord. You can join up with me, Kuran, and Niall, and we love tormenting Joe. So we'll scour the magical books out there to find you an item to break the game.
But I'm so excited to play with Lauren again. She's so much fun. So I'm really excited about next week. We've got a few different ideas what it will be. I think it may be. Oh, I don't know the name of the scenario. I'll have to leave. It'll have to be next week. You'll find out.
Kuran's given up. He doesn't care. Good luck.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to do the sign-offs. I was going to just start showing to people all around. I'll do an impression of Kuran for his promo, I guess. So look, first up, thank you very much to our esteemed guest, Orla, or Orla the Witch. Do you want to shill yourself out, is what I generally call this section. Tell us where people can find you on the internet.
Yeah, so I suppose, what's my spiel? So at Naturally Orla on Twitter is the easiest place to find me. NaturallyOrla.com also exists, but who uses websites anymore, right? So yeah, I have a few things up on DM's Guild. I have a new murder mystery coming out in 2 weeks. It's called The Valley. It's for level 1 characters, and it's designed so you can level up your level 1 characters in a way that isn't just, grinding a bunch of goblins.
Amazing. Oh, I'll definitely check that because I loved your last one.
My resident artist, Laura Boland, who did the beautiful, beautiful cover for Murder on the Eberron Express, the really, really cool one with the train, did honestly, I think, some of her best work on the cover for this. She does some, and there's an original monster in it that I'm really excited to release as well. So yeah, I'm excited about that. That's out in 2 weeks.
The urge to spoil it for yourself. Like, should I tell you?
No, I was deciding whether or not it was a secret. I don't think it actually is a secret. It's called an Apiad, and it's a very small fae that's like a bee that's trying to like mimic humans. So it's like this weird bee-like fae that kind of like looks like a little weird bee dryad that can like summon swarms of bees to attack you.
Amazing.
And making the stat block for that was just a shit ton of fun.
You'll also need sound effects of Nicolas Cage just going, the bees, not the bees.
Yeah. And Laura's little design for that is
I can't wait. That
so
sounds
fun.
brilliant.
Okay, not going to push Dublins and Dragons onto your thing, isn't it?
We're on an indefinite hiatus because we film in person, and so we haven't been able. We filmed the first episode in January, late January of this year. We were going to get together. We were busy February. We're like, oh, it's okay. We were going to run a Kickstarter and then in March to fund our second season, and then the world happened. So we didn't. And we don't know when we're going to film the rest of season 2, so it's no point doing that, really. We're kind of on this idea.
Fair enough. There's like 3 or 4 Irish Dungeons & Dragons shows. I know that's one of them. So I'm like, come on, we got to big up the Irish.
I know. There's Homebrew, who I've guested on, and they're great crack. They
Ben and the gang,
they stream every second Tuesday, and they're very funny. Ben's a great DM. They name random stuff in their game after the craft beers that they're drinking, and they're really starting to run out of beers. They have bought some truly vile, weird IPA, bitter, sours bullshits. Like, they've just some truly wild things just because they had some interesting names. And they've really tortured it. You talk about torturing the DM. DM spent like 5 minutes describing this really mystical, amazing creature, this like straight out of mythology, and everyone, the players picked up the first can that they had ready to go and named this thing Slurposaurus after a sour that they've been drinking. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Check out Orla, guys. She's definitely her scenario. Murder or horror? Murder on the Eberron Express. is well worth checking out. We did a playthrough of it, and it's just so much fun. Like it's
Really
the kind
good.
of game you can. There's not many modules you can replay that's got replayability, which is unusual. So, Joe, what about yourself? Do you want to tell us where we can find you?
Yeah, well, so you can find me on Twitter at HWR Podcast. We release, all of our episodes, including Ram the Frost Maiden, every week on howwerollpodcast.com, or you can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, and pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts. You can email us directly at howwerollpodcast.com, and at howwerollpodcast@gmail.com. We have a Facebook group, a Reddit group, and you can check us out in our really friendly Discord, or Discords, because we have a Does It Roll Discord as well. I think that's probably all from me. I do lots of DMing and stuff, mainly on here.
Kuran, what about yourself? Glad you could return for your promo piece. We thought you were gone for a second there.
Oh, that was. I just switching a battery out. That's all. Anyway, yeah. If anyone wants to find me, they can find me on Twitter. If you're visually looking, it's written in this corner somewhere. But it's it's Kuran_ it's at Kuran_J. That's KURAN_J. And I'm not particularly active on it. I tend to retweet a lot of stuff that's going on for live shows or podcast stuff. Other than that, you can find me on the How We Roll Discord or the Does It Roll Discord, both. And I also have my own Discord for a film club. So if anyone's interested in that, they can definitely follow. We watch a film every Wednesday, and we all vote for it. Although Simple Poe was being a real pain today, but it all got sorted. It's all good. We've got. It looks like Yojimbo might be the film we're watching.
It's well worth watching. I've not been part of any of the movie club watch throughs, but the discussion you have is pretty interesting.
What time do you do that, Kuran?
7 p.m. BST on a Wednesday.
Okay, I could just stop working for a few hours and watch
That's
movies.
That's 2 p.m. EST and 11 a.m. PST. The one thing that podcasts get you to know is time zones across the world.
Okay, I'm so good at time zones now. I used to be really bad at them.
Niall, what about yourself? You've got so much stuff to sell and push. This man's got so many products out there.
More than you could even count. I'm Niall. I'm Niall. I try to use Twitter, and I think you can get my thing here. And I spent ages before this making sure that I'm pointing in the right place, because last week I did it wrong. I also pointed at, anyway, you can get me on HWR Podcast Niall on Twitter, and you can also find me on the How We Roll Discord too, and on the Does It Roll Discord also, where I really usually join into a conversation every now and then if it's something that catches my interest.
You usually tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, I'll also chime in to tell Owen to be quiet sometimes, because it's Owen. He deserves it. He's loud. Anyway, yeah, that's my stuff. And yeah.
I was like,
Owen.
is that everyone? That is everyone. So yeah,
No,
last
it's not. We haven't got Aram.
Oh, sorry, Aram. Oh man. I'm slowly trying to push him out of the group. So keep forgetting about him each week. I'm
gonna have to take over these calls, these post game chats to make sure.
I'm so sorry, Aram. Tell people where you are, because you actually have stuff to promote. Good stuff, not like Niall.
Actually, one more thing I wanted to point in before interrupting Aram. Sorry. You can also find me in the future on God's Fall.
Oh, there he goes.
There we go.
His new boss is coming on. He's got to really, really up the game.
Really? Tell me more.
Well, I'll let Aram explain.
You're off next week's episode by the sounds of it. Aram, do you want to tell us about your wonderful shows and producing?
I don't know if Aram's there.
Is Aram also stuck reading chat? I've been there, buddy. I know the feeling.
Let's see.
Sometimes he can't make things
He's been posting
sound.
everything into chat, so he probably can't talk.
I know he can.
He's posting himself, so come on, Aram. So
he says audio is out.
Okay, audio is out. So let me tell you about Aram. Aram is the producer who makes all of us seem super talented. He is the creator.
I pushed the wrong button. Hi, I'm back.
Hey, there he is.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
like I said, really professional producer.
I am a producer shouting into a dead mic for 5 minutes. Hi, my name is Aram. I run God's Fall, which Niall will be joining us as Torvik, and we recorded the first episode. It was great. It was perfect, frankly. And we also just recorded the first episode with the whole cast. Did 5 solid hours. It was amazing. I'm so happy that they can all find time during right now, to get back into it. And we'll be launching season 6 soon. And I'm also going to be launching a iHunt game called Cash for Teeth. Maybe at the end of the month, but probably not until next month. So look for that on Does It Roll.
That's going to be really, really exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be real wholesome.
Yeah.
Real family game.
Very, very exciting.
To be fair, for the guys listening, do you want to sell the tagline or give the gist of what that game is going to be about? Because it's definitely interesting, if nothing else.
Yeah, basically, it's going to be like, how's the easiest way I can just it's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but violent and leftist. That would be my best way to just to give like the baseline of it. It's going to be there's a lot of Nazi vampire cops that need killing, lots of that, yeah. It'll be a good time.
Like how you sold it to me. You were like, do you want
Nazi vampire cops, kill them.
And I said, yes, I'm in. I'm in.
That's the basic. That's the basic pitch right there.
So you're going to have hot vampire anti-heroes. Is that the Buffy segment?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely going to be hot vampire anti-heroes, always. Absolutely.
Everybody's hot in Aram's games.
That's true. That's true. Every single person's hot.
Everyone's a thirst trap.
Yeah. The elderly priest greets you all. Who's been working out?
He's actually looking every day.
And you're all in awe.
How did I follow that up?
of his 8-pack.
Yeah,
how old is he? 100.
The priest has been doing crunches for Jesus.
What is
That's
your
a new T-shirt.
5,000 crunches.
That's a new nightmare.
No more Hail Marys. No more Hail Marys. Right?
Man, I have to carb up for church, man. It's so hard now.
Gotta have my pregame mixture for church.
My pre-worship. Oh god. Anyway, on that note, I am How We Roll.
On what note?
That mess. I mean, hot priest apparently is my brand. Is it? No. Actually, maybe my first character ever was a hot priest. There we go.
Owen, have you done you?
I'm just doing it. I was getting to it.
Okay. There you go. I was about to say.
So, as I'm saying, I'm Owen. My tag is How We Roll Owen. I'm pretty much all social media. That mess of letters at the end of How We Roll is pronounced Owen, Eoghan. You can find me on Twitter. With that, you can find me on Twitch. With that, I stream. I don't have a regular schedule because of work, but I more or less stream 3 or 4 nights a week. We play anything from we're playing Baldur's Gate at the moment, a lot of Football Manager, and we just kind of sit and chat about random stuff among us as well. And then I'm also all over the How We Roll Discord, creating my own cult against Joe's worst character, Ken. And you can find that link on the top of my. You have many good characters. You have one bad character. The top of my Twitter, you can find links to that Discord, and also I'm on the Does It Roll Discord, which you can find on the Does It Roll Twitter, which is twitter.tv.com/Does It Roll. That's pretty much me.
Amazing. Oh, well, again, thank you everyone for playing. It's been an absolute pleasure tonight. Thank you so much, Aram, for producing. I've only seen bits, obviously, because we can't hear it, but from what I've seen, it's incredible. And thank you everyone for watching. It's a real pleasure to have you watching our game. It's really nice to hear your comments. It's really nice chatting to you about it through various social media, particularly the Discord and Twitter. It's a real pleasure, and we'll be back next week at the same time. Take care.
Thank you very much, folks. See ya.
Fantastic.
Out.
We should probably raid someone.